1055 KD Country.
Live from the Siegel Center in Richmond, it's time for Colonels basketball. The Altavista Colonels on 1055 KD Country. I am Kyle Hoehne. With me, as usual, is my esteemed partner and colleague, the Big O, Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. And Oscar, we're here again. The Colonels home away from home, the campus of VCU, the Siegel Center. That must mean it's state tournament time. State semifinal action between Galax and Altavista coming up.
Yes, coming in, Galax 16-11, Colonels 23-3, and we've already learned something new today, that this is the Verizon Wireless Arena. We've been calling it the Siegel Center, and it is, but it is Verizon Wireless Arena. We're still got about 2 minutes left in this Clintwood versus Surry County game, and that's why we're coming to you now and give you a little more action and a little bit more in-depth analysis of the Colonels game coming up.
Yeah, this is the Subway pregame show. You can eat fresh at all three Altavista area locations. Of course, the new location in Foster Fuels on Route 29, just north of Altavista. And the Main Street location that we all know and love. And, of course, in the Walmart in Altavista on Clarion Road. We'll tell you a whole lot more about Subway as we go on. And as we go on, we'll tell you more about the Colonels' opponent, the Galax Maroon Tide. As Oscar said, 16-11 coming in. They lost in the West Region Final Friday night to Hoehne. We'll tell you some about Hoehne, too, because they have already won their state semifinal game against Surry. Oscar and I witnessed that one about an hour or so ago, and we'll recap that. Of course, the winner of Galax and Altavista goes on to play Hoehne in the 1A state championship game. So plenty to talk about, plenty to do, plenty to see, and plenty for you to hear about. You got your radio tuned to the right place. It's state semifinal basketball action. It's the Colonels. It's the Maroon Tide from Galax. Let's hear from the head coach, Mike Carlero. Got a chance to catch up with him. We'll see what he has to say about the Colonels' regional championship game on Saturday. See what he has to say about this one and a few other topics as well. Should be fun. Altavista, Galax, you've got yourself a ringside seat on 105.5 KD Country.
My friends call me the perfectionist. But English's Building Supply, my neighborhood Glidden paint dealer, they greet me by name. You see, I like to get things exactly right, especially when it comes to my painting projects. So I'm at English's Building Supply a lot, whether it's mixing the perfect Glidden paint for my project or offering great incentives. They do business just the way I like it, perfectly. English's on North Main Street, Altavista.
When you have more mortgage options, you'll be in a better buying situation, and I can help. I'm Courtney Woody with First National Bank, and we offer a wide variety of loans right here in Central Virginia. So if you want a more custom mortgage for a new home or to lower your existing monthly payment, contact me, Courtney Woody, at First National Bank in Windhurst. We've been focused on local customers just like you for 100-plus years. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns here from VCU. My guest, as always, Mr. Mike Carlero from the Altavista Colonels and Coach C. We got a lot to talk about here and not a lot of time to do it. Let's start with Saturday's win at William Campbell. It wasn't the high-flying first quarter of Wednesday, but, man, you guys end up with a 45-point win and all looked pretty good on Saturday against Surry.
Yeah, kids came out with great focus, and they have been for the last 2 or 3 weeks, really locked in. You know, our effort on defense and our energy's been really good. And, you know, our whole motto now is just take what they're given. And Surry started off trying to take away the twins and get physical in there. And, you know, Meche knocked down some big shots. Our chemistry's been great. You can't ask for a better group right now the way they're playing.
I saw you guys went to the zone again and maybe a little bit more. Is it one of those deals now that the secret's out? You don't mind using it as much, or does it just depend on the other team?
Well, we actually went to it, we had some fouls we were scared about. One out front trying to guard Williams was a little bit of a problem. And two, it sometimes slows the other team down. If you got a big lead, that kind of plays into the fact there ain't but so many possessions left in the game. So it's out, but, we'll if we got to use it, we'll use it, and we still bank on our man-to-man.
Yeah, before we talk about Galax here today, your 500th win, they had a little bit of a celebration for you afterwards. Bunch of Colonel players, former Colonel players. We even had a Tristan Tanks and a Jeremy Booth and a Kurt Reichert sighting going all the way back. Fill in some blanks for me. Who are some of those other guys from the old guard that were out there?
Reichert goes all the way back to my first team at Altavista, 94, 95. He was a junior, and he was right there when we got things started. And, he looks great. And, what's really special is to see these guys here, share some laughs, always talk about this play or that play from the past. But, the group that was here on Saturday, it goes all the way back 21 years. So really proud. I've been very fortunate.
Yeah, you said that when you got to 400th the other night that, as we expected, you would try and spin it about the players. But even though you've had some good players, Coach, you haven't screwed it up. So great job. Congratulations. Time to move forward, though, and try and get number 501. It's against a team that you're pretty familiar with, the Galax Maroon Tide. You played them at this stage last year in the state semifinal. What's new and what's changed and what's the same about Galax?
Hey, they're very well coached. Conley is a great player. They can really shoot it. I've been told by some coaches he's as good as anybody they've seen this year. And they went down the list. That includes some pretty special players. They're scrappy. They play matchup zone. They play a little bit of pack line, UVA style of zone. They try to get you in a deliberate half-court game, and are good at it. I mean, this group beat Radford, and Radford's really good. So we're going to be in a scrap today with these guys. I think we've got to probably force tempo, but not get frustrated because our guards can really handle it. And hopefully inside we have an advantage. We can score around the rim. You get to VCU like today, and anything can happen. No one's familiar with the floor other than the years past, and that's not a lot of familiarity there. So this is a semifinal game, and the winner goes to the state championship.
How tough was it to implement your game plan because you didn't have the ability to practice before this game? Tell us about the things that you tried to do to get your team ready.
Well, the Virginia High School League waived the Sunday practice rule. So actually we did have one day to get ready. That's not a lot. But our guys, again, have been so focused in chemistry and they're just zeroed in. So it's nice to have a senior group that it doesn't take long, hopefully, to get them geared. But with that being said, I sure would have liked to have had a couple more days to get ready for this.
Yeah, I know. Final question here with you, Coach Carlero, and then but the shout-outs. We'll try the best we can on those. You got to love getting back here as a coach. You've been here a lot more than some other people. Does stepping onto this court at VCU even turn up your juices a bit more and make you a little more excited?
If you can't get excited, you don't need to be involved as a player or a coach. It's such a special feeling to go out on this floor knowing that you're on the state's floor, so to speak. And these guys have earned it. They've had to battle. We've taken some good shots. I know we got a good team. There's no doubt about that. But we've taken some pretty good licks from some teams. Battled through Demetrius' injury for about 9 or 10 games. Our guys on the bench really stepped up. Josh and Nelson really stepped their games up when Demetrius was out. Donnie's come around. But, they've all worked hard to get to this point. But, they have a singular goal right now, and that's a team goal to win it all. But hopefully somehow we can find a way to have one more point than Galax.
That's the name of the game here today against the Maroon Tide. Now we'll give the shout-outs our best shot.
Yeah, we'll give them our best shot.
Fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I think my dad is listening in Buena Vista. I know Ann and Chris and Minnie are listening in down in Florida. Hello to them. Micah and his family up in Manassas, and hopefully he's got a good week to get baseball started for him. Does a great job with his team. Glenn and Linda Miller from Miller's Jewelry has been so good to us, supportive of the team, bought us a meal during this trip. This has been really good. Pug and Bob Finch, I know, are listening in. And I think that might be it because yes, Sarah and Swanson, our dear neighbors who've been just great. They've been coming to the home games, and they're actually at home taking care of Hoops, our dog, so she's in great hands. She actually would rather stay with them than us. So I think that may be it. Who do I have left? Shirley and Dick McKeel. Dick has been getting some treatments, and he loves to come to the games. He's not able to right now, but he seems to be doing really well, and we're happy to see that. Kenny Moore, who is our neighbor too, who is a big basketball man and a former player, and I hope we got it covered.
Well, and we got a lot of people that unfortunately had to work and couldn't come to the game, so I'm sure a lot of folks around town listening, and hello to everybody. Hope we get a good ball game. It's the Colonels, it's the Galax Maroon Tide. It's all right around the corner. Tip off in about 10 minutes on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Mitch Haley with Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center. I would like to take this time to thank KD Country for the advertising opportunities they have provided me this past year. I would also like to thank our customers for making 2014 such a great year. It is because of your continuous support that we are able to expand our business and offer you more than we ever had in 2015. Come see us today at Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center, where you can shop small and save big.
Visit their newly remodeled showroom on 7th Street.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns here from VCU. The Altavista Colonels getting set to take on the Galax Maroon Tide. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He is Oscar Briggs. Thanks so much for joining us. We know we got a lot of you folks listening around town and around Central Virginia area on 105.5 FM, but then also a bunch of people tuned in at kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app. Big shout out to the Subway gang, Kendra, Mark, and Stephanie down there at the Main Street location. I think they probably have us tuned in. Keep up the good work down there, gang. And I know Robert Duff tuned in as well, as he could not make the trip here today. Oscar, speaking of folks that have made the trip, let's talk about this Colonel crowd that is in attendance. It does include the pep band and the cheerleaders. They've been a mainstay here in the Siegel Center, just like the boys basketball team has. But the crowd right now, you and I were discussing it, and maybe more people to come, but probably not as many folks as we thought there would be, actually.
No, compared to the years past, certainly the last 2 years, we are a little bit lighter today without the Vista crowd. Reconfiguration, rescheduling by the VHSL puts it at a little bit of disadvantage. Two work days, right smack in the middle of the day. The Hoehne game earlier today started at 10 o'clock, and, of course, the state championship game Wednesday, if the Colonels are lucky enough to advance, that's at 10 o'clock as well.
Yeah, and Hoehne, as you and I talked about, a 5.5 or 6 hour ride up here to Richmond. So that is no short trip. You got to plan ahead for those. Most everybody around Central Virginia, maybe 3 if you live in some locations, but I don't know that we can necessarily say the Colonels have a home court advantage today, but they have been here a lot. Yeah. This has sort of become a home away from home.
Well, and the people that are listening back in Altavista, if you're planning on coming Wednesday, you need to come, because Hoehne did bring a big crowd. Sure. I mean, it's 340 miles. We map quested it, and the shortest distance is 340. So they were loud and had a large presence here in the first game.
Yeah, and it was good to see the Hoehne fans again. It's good to see Galax again. We've come to get to know them pretty well through football and, of course, basketball last year. This is a rematch of a state semifinal game from last season, Oscar. That Last year it took place in the Salem Civic Center, and the Colonels won, pulled away in the second half. Galax was game and ready, but just not enough last year to take on the Colonels. Let's dive right into it. What do you think Galax has for Altavista this time around?
Well, they're going to obviously slow the ball down. We've talked to several sources who said that's going to be their strategy. If you look at their record at 16-11, Kyle, 7 of those games have been losses of 6 points or less. So it's not like they're getting blown out and not in every game that they play. So they're going to be tough. They're going to be scrappy, just like every Galax team we run into is.
And Galax's run to the run through the regional tournament, has already been pretty exciting and had some death-defying moments. They had to go to triple overtime in the first round of regionals against Eastside, beat them 60-54, and then Wednesday they beat Radford 50-37. That was the team that everybody had penciled in to get back to this point, the Radford Bobcats, and no doubt a talented squad, but Galax, coached by Burl Brown, just too much for him Wednesday night. As I said, 50-37. Galax was 16 of 24 from the free throw line. They hit 6 3-pointers. So this is a team that can shoot. They fall to Hoehne, as we already mentioned in the West Regional Championship game, 40-29. And you saw it right there. Slow scoring pace in all those games. I mean, even with 3 overtimes in that first regional game, Oscar only scored 60 points. And I think Coach Burl Brown would prefer they score even less than that, but he would certainly prefer a win above all.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, 16-11, 7 of those games, 6 points or less. I can't, reiterating that point that this is going to be a tough team to blow out. They're going to be competitive. And you look down the list of the roster and you see a couple of names that come out. Of course, people's names pop out. And you heard Coach Carlero talk about Cliff Conley and what a ball player, tremendous ball player he is.
Cliff Conley is going to be a lot of fun to watch. He is probably the primary name that you need to know as a Colonel fan. Cliff Conley is an amazing shooter, and he's got a motor like no other. He's a back-to-back state champion in cross country as an individual, and he led Galax to back-to-back state championships as a team in cross country. So I believe Ryan Cook called Juan Pelaez from Rustburg the Energizer Bunny. Cliff Conley may be the new Energizer Bunny today. We'll just have to wait and see. When we come back from this next time out, we'll tell you some more names that you need to watch for Galax, and we'll run down the Altavista Colonels as well if you are new and you haven't heard or seen a lot of Colonel games. This is the Subway pregame show. It's the Altavista Colonels getting ready to take on the Galax Maroon Tide. 1A state semifinal action. You're going to hear it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not going to make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
Life happens. Divorce, family problems, criminal charges, civil litigation, personal injury cases. Turn to David W. Shreve, an experienced attorney at law. David W. Shreve has been practicing law for 30-plus years. Free consultation for personal injury cases. Call today, 369-6621. 369-6621. David W. Shreve. Good luck to the Altavista basketball team in the playoffs. Go Colonels. David W. Shreve, located 7th Street, Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Live from the Siegel Center in Richmond, 1A state semifinal basketball action. This is the Subway pregame show on 105.5 3 great locations to eat fresh around Altavista, and one thing you may want to try is the Turkey Italiano melt. Tender turkey breast, oven roasted to perfection with salami, pepperoni, melted provolone, and the new Subway vinaigrette, all on a freshly baked bread with your favorite veggies. Make it a sandwich like no other. Agent Zero was 3 days in a row with the Italiano melt.
3 days in a row, yeah. It would have been 4, but I didn't do breakfast there this morning. So.
Well, that's okay. I think we'll be all right. And again, 3 locations to serve you. Rustburg, you can visit the Foster Fields location on Route 29 in Altavista, in the Walmart on Clarion Road, and of course on Main Street. Getting back to the Galax Maroon Tide, this is a team with a pedigree a lot like the Altavista Colonels, and in fact, when you talk about 1A state championships or Division I, as it used to be known, last team to win a state title in 1A basketball, the Galax Maroon Tide. They won back-to-back in 2012 and 2011, and of course, you remember the Colonels started their back-to-back run in 2013, backed it up last year in 2014, trying for the three-peat. But this is interesting, a meeting of the last 2 state championships whose run really have overlapped. And Galax, I think the stat that I read, Oscar, has made the state tournament 8 of the last 10 years. That's pretty impressive.
Boy, that is impressive. And, the Colonels, from their perspective, you heard Coach Carlero talk about the thrill of getting back to the Siegel Center, and you're on the state floor. And quite frankly, everything leading up to this point, if you wouldn't have gotten here, it would have been a tremendous disappointment this year for the Colonels. And I think even continuing to look forward, I think that if they don't win today, it'll be considered not a great season.
Well,
as good as it's been and as well as they played, all expectations at the beginning of the year were to get to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows the goals here. And the Colonels, I think, as players, put more pressure on themselves than the fans and the coaches do, because these guys want to win. They're used to winning. And you're right. I mean, when you go to the top of the mountain 2 years in a row, the third year you don't say, hey, well, this year let's just go halfway up or 3/4 of the way up. You want to get back again. I mean, so we know where the bar is set. The Colonels know where the bar is set. And you're absolutely right. It's been a fantastic season with plenty of highs, very few lows, as the Colonels have only lost 3 ball games. But if you don't win today and you don't win Wednesday, then maybe it seems like you fell a little short. But I think this has been a year unlike no other. I mean, it's interesting with the back-to-back state titles, Oscar. Each year has had its own feel for sure. I mean, this year it's been a lot of exciting stuff. You go back to Darius and Juan getting 1,000 points in the same game. Coach Carlero achieving his milestones, the 65-point half that featured a 42-point quarter against Middlesex, and everything in the kitchen sink in between, really.
Well, the unusual situation you have with Donovan Montague and his progression as a player, again, never playing varsity basketball until his senior year, and boy, he's been such an integral part of the success of this team. The flashy dunks by Thornhill, the unselfish play by all the parties. No egos on this team when it comes to, there's no jealousy. They don't care about who gets the points. The brothers Johnson. It's just been there's a ton of stories that go along with this season.
It has. You heard Coach Carlero mention, they had to get through Demetrius Johnson's injury there, missed 8 or 9 games. They weathered that storm nicely, and they've had some good competition this year, have the Altavista Colonels. I mentioned the 3 losses. 2 of those were to Dan River. Dan River will be in action later on in 2A semifinal action. The other loss to Spotswood, who's still alive in 3A basketball. So it's been some very good quality opponents. They had a close game against Appomattox, a close game against Rustburg. A lot of blowouts for the Altavista Colonels. Make no mistake about that. They've run up the score on a lot of people. Not run it up in a bad way. They've just extended some wide margins, and a lot of times it's come in the first half, so you definitely can't accuse them of running up the score. Again, let's talk about the Galax Maroon Tide. Cliff Conley is really the star for them, but he's got a lot of help as well. Keyshawn Brown and William Brown are 2 names that you'll hear a lot. Dominic DiGiacomo is another name that maybe you remember from last year. Great last name. He's a gutty player. He plays hard. And then Caleb Bartlett, Oscar, is a 3-point specialist, guy that has hit 4 3-balls in a game. I know he did it against Radford, and I think he did the same thing against Eastside. And we mentioned Burl Brown and his squad, they're not going to play a lot of people. He's only going to play 6 guys, maybe 7 at most. Not unlike the Altavista Colonels, some games they only go 7 deep, sometimes 8 deep. But both of these two teams, you're going to see a lot of minutes from the starters. And, of course, I guess the wild card there is if somebody gets in foul trouble.
Yeah, and but the other glaring thing that you see when you look down the Galax roster is their height or lack thereof. They got 2 players at 6'2", then they drop off to 6 feet. And after that, they got 3 at 6'2". 2 or 3 at 6 feet, and then it drops off pretty dramatic after that. So they're not a tall team. The Colonels will certainly have a height advantage.
I'm sorry, Oscar. I was going to say the Colonels can shoot the long ball, and they've been doing so with more regularity recently. They've hit a 3 in 25 of 26 games this season. They hit 9 of them against Spotswood, 7 of them last week against Essex. So if this does turn into a battle of long-range shooting, I don't think the Colonels are in any deficit in that category. Subway never at a deficit. They've got the simple 6 menu going on as well. Tasty 6-inch sub options with a bag of chips and a 21-ounce drink, all for just $6. That's the simple 6 menu at Subway. We're going to step aside for one final timeout. Then we bring it back with the starting lineups. And tip-off will be right around the corner between the Galax Maroon Tide and the Altavista Colonels. It's all happening right now on 105.5 KD Country.
Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus company, Sunny Merriman Incorporated, along with their employees and families, join together to congratulate the Altavista High School athletic teams for their outstanding sports seasons. Sunny Merriman wishes you the best in the playoffs and in your quest to bring home more state championship trophies to our community. Go Colonels, make us proud.
Does it seem that most stores don't care about good service these days? Well, at English's Building Supply, good service is still the king. They greet me with a smile, help me select the highest quality Glidden paint, provide expert color matching, and even carry my paint to the car. They help me get the job done right and make it last. At English's Building Supply, the customer is still king. English's Hardware and Building Supply, North Main Street, Altavista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Subway preview show back to its final segment here on 105.5 KD Country. They're getting ready to read the sportsmanship pledge out there at half court. We are courtside here at the Siegel Center. Hard to find a better arena around than this, and it is an arena. It's not a gymnasium. You got the open backdrop behind each basket, and this. What do you think? 50% capacity, Oscar? Maybe a little bit less. As we mentioned, it's tough to break away on a Monday afternoon to get here.
Yeah, it's 50 or less. I think that's a good estimate. And, again, this is from an Altavista perspective. When the Pep Band played and the Altavista fans stood up, very light compared to what we're used to at this venue and this part of the season.
But I think the fans that are here are going to make a lot of noise. They're going to make their presence felt. The fans that aren't here and listening at home are going to make their presence felt. Big hello and shout out to all the faculty and staff and students at Altavista High School probably tuned in right now. Send a special hello to that softball team out there that's preparing for their season. And there is the sportsmanship pledge being read first by Dominic DiGiacomo for Galax, and now Donovan Montague will do the honors. And Donovan, very well spoken. You heard that on the Subway halftime show. Before we get to the starting lineups for the ball clubs, let's tell you about our starting lineup. We would not be here if it wasn't for the support of El Cazador, a great place for family and friends to dine. English's, your complete home center, and home for Glidden Paint. David W. Shreve, attorney at law. When life happens, call David W. Shreve. Select Air, Mechanical, and Electrical, your authorized trained dealer. It's hard. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. Altavista Appliance. Come visit them at their new location on 7th Street in Altavista. Fellers Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. Sunny Merriman, Virginia's premier bus company. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. And your live internet broadcast at kdcountry.com. brought to you by Chris Owen, your Allstate agent in Lynchburg. Basketball fans are always in good hands with Chris Owen. Of course, big shout-out to our good buddy and former Colonel player John Pruitt, son of Steve and Barbara Pruitt. And you remember John Pruitt was a player here for Altavista not that long ago, now an assistant coach for Prince Edward. And the tie-in, of course, is Prince Edward plays Dan River later on in this gym. So,
and there was some debate on social media as exactly what his title is with that team. Some people said that he's a associate head coach, and I think that's the terminology Bob Alves used.
Well, I think that's good terminology. James Scott has been the coach at Prince Edward for as long as I can remember, much like Verl Brown, the coach at Galax, for about as long as I can remember. And we talked to the Galax radio guys, and we asked how long he'd been there, and they said he's been there forever. We don't know how long he's been there. So
they built a school around him.
Exactly. There's your answer as far as that goes. Coach Mike Cardellaro, well, he's got 500 career wins to his credit. He's been at Altavista for 21 years. And he's looking to get into his 6th state final on Wednesday. Got to win this game to do it. Coach C, of course, they won the state championship in 2004. Back-to-back state championships most recently in 2012 and 2013 and 2014. And then 2 losses in state championship finals. And I believe 2 losses in state championship semifinals. Starters for the Maroon Tide, Oscar.
They're still going through. One of the things they do a little bit differently here is they do announce the entire roster, but now they have announced the starters for the Galax Maroon Tide. At guard, a 5'8 senior, number 10, Keyshawn Brown. At guard, number 12, a 5'9 senior, Caleb Bartlett. Number 14, Cliff Conley. He's the one that we've talked about so much. He's a 6'2 senior. Charles Harris is listed at center, 5'11. He's a junior, and he's very well put together, 5'11. And then Dominic DiGiacomo, a 5'10 senior. He's listed as a guard. He'll play some forward as well for them.
Yeah, Charles Harris, you remember him from the gridiron. He was a good player for Galax. He is certainly well put together. Cliff Conley is what you would imagine from a cross-country / basketball star. He's about 6'2". He's wiry, lean, and bounces around everywhere he goes.
Got great ball handling skills. Obviously, as a state cross-country champion, you won't see him get much seat time today.
I don't think so. The Altavista Colonels in the home white jerseys. Orange Altavista written over the black numeral, orange outline around that, orange trim going down the side of the pants. Everybody's got the gray socks, gray shoes, except for, of course, number 1, Meche Malback, who sports the black footwear. Galax, well, they're in their maroon road jerseys. A little bit of gray trim around, number in white, maroon. We're at jump circle from the Siegel Center, ready to get underway here in the state semifinal. Colonels win the tip in the backcourt. Thornhill will high step it into the front court. Left-hand corner, it goes to Darius Johnson. Lob play, shot up to the bucket there. That was Meche Malback for 3. Won't go in, no. Loose ball tipped around and controlled by the Maroon Tide. This is Caleb Bartlett. Bartlett will let the floor clear around him, and he'll bring it into the front court for Galax. 7:40 left to play in the Select Air first quarter.
That's the first time in about 5 games I can remember that the Colonels hadn't hit the opening 3.
DiGiacomo to the hoop, left side, off the window, and in. Good job by Dominic DiGiacomo. Lowered the right shoulder, threw it up with the left hand, got it to go. Maroon Tide leads early, 2-0. 7:20 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Looks like a zone defense from the Maroon Tide. Thornhill faked the shot, now driving to the dish. Finger roll finish there from the left side for number 2, Juan Thornhill. 2-2, we're all tied up.
And that finger roll was from about 6 feet out, too. Nice touch by Juan on that penetration.
Yes, seriously good touch there from Thornhill as he floated through the sky to lay in the 2-point dish. This is Bartlett, guarded by McClure. They get it to DiGiacomo again, right side of the hoop. That shot won't fall, too strong. Rebounded left side post by Darius Johnson. Thornhill, long chest pass up to the left wing to Donovan Montague. Now it's right wing over to Meche Malback. Malback overhead pass back to the middle to Juan. Meche's going to step into a 3. Back iron too strong. Didn't chase after the rebound, and DiGiacomo picked it up after one bounce. Dominic DiGiacomo, left-hand dribble, working to his left. Now he goes left wing to Keyshawn Brown. Conley hadn't touched the basketball much yet. Now he has it in his hands. Right on cue. Looks like he's guarded by Demetrius Johnson. Go figure they'd put the shredder on the other team's best scorer.
Yeah, we talked about that. We thought that would be the matchup.
This is Caleb Bartlett, guarded by Malbeck. Left wing, going to work to his left. Meche gambled on the steal. Bartlett, pull up three. Too strong, back iron. Thornhill tips it to a teammate, and that's Darius Johnson on the board.
And early, it looks like Galax will get one and be done. If they don't make it, Altavista's got too much size inside.
Darius Johnson, power move to the hoop from the left side post. Score the basket, and the Colonels have a lead, 4-2. First lead change of the ball game comes with 5:46 left to play in the first period. This is Keyshawn Brown, guarded by Thornhill. Juan's got him about 30 feet away from the hoop. Now Brown gets by him. Middle of the lane, floater off the square, won't fall. Got his own rebound after a redirect. He's just going to back it out. Malbeck trying to pick it away, and it'll bounce harmlessly out of bounds. Last touch off of Keyshawn Brown, the guard for Galax. So it's Altavista basketball. 5.5 left to play in the first. 4-2 our score. And it would appear, Oscar, with 2.5 minutes gone by, Galax is getting what they want with the scoring pace. I mean, just 4-2. They've limited the Colonels a bit, but Altavista also hadn't touched the ball that much. 2-3 zone, it looks like, for the Maroon Tide.
And Altavista's being very patient, running the Johnson brothers and the Donovan down on the post.
Montague touches the ball on the baseline. Nice give to Demetrius Johnson streaking. They're going to whistle Demetrius with the offensive foul. Looked like DiGiacomo got his feet set, and Demetrius plowed through him there. That's a borderline call. I mean, it's a question of who gets to the spot first, but it's Demetrius' first personal foul. First one on the Colonels as a team. 5 minutes even left to play here in the Select Air first quarter. This is Brown. Brown turns his back to the bucket on the right wing, guarded by Thornhill. Gives it up. Conley, catch and shoot three. Side of the iron, no good. Nice rebound by Thornhill to sky up and take it away from Galax. Juan, one-man fast break to the bucket. He is fouled. Body contact as he soared up to the front of the rim. And now Thornhill will get to take a chance at free throws.
Yeah, they're going to call that on the floor.
Oh, boy. Juan had to be in the act of shooting there.
Yeah, you would think. It may have been that last little act that he shoveled.
Juan, lob play to the dish. He got bodied around. Then the basketball got swatted out of his hands as he shot that one up. Interesting no call there as it looked like the man slid right under Juan as he was going up for the old patented alley-oop dunk.
I know the Colonels are very focused. They look a little flat.
Bounce pass. Conley, backdoor cut off the side of the iron in the window and down. Cliff Conley has scored. We're tied up 4-4 here from the Siegel Center.
They don't look like they've got a lot of energy right now.
Not sure I disagree with your point there. I think the Colonels maybe just shaking off. They'll fire into high gear here in just a second. Demetrius Johnson, right side post. Count the basket, falls in. Demetrius falls down. That's because he was fouled. And Demetrius Johnson going to toe the free throw line to try for the old-fashioned three-point play.
And again, good job by Galax, kind of taking the Colonels a little bit out of their rhythm. Colonels being very patient, and they'll have to. Demetrius knocks that one down, Kyle. Finish my point. The Colonels will have to be patient against the Galax if they're going to be deliberate.
7-4. Colonels lead in the Select Air first quarter. Just halfway through the Select Air first quarter. 3:56 left to play. Here's Keyshawn Brown going to dribble to his left wing. Chest pass, right side to Bartlett. Now this is Conley. Conley swings it back, looking for Charles Harris. Bounced off his hands and into the hands of Meche Malbeck. Malbeck going to bring it up far sideline. Lost the handle momentarily. Found it over to Darius Johnson. Johnson bait away 5-footer from the left side. The paint is good. 9-4. Colonel's starting to impose their will just a little bit here, Oscar.
And they're going to use that. They continue to use that height advantage. And a little bit quicker right now than Galax. Looks like they're starting to pick up the defensive intensity on this trip as well.
Thornhill's going to take a turn guarding Conley this time. Conley chest pass to the right wing to Keyshawn Brown. Brown going to circle it to his left. It's man-to-man defense for the Colonels. Conley, three ball, good. Right in the face of Darius Johnson, who tried to help out defensively. 9-7. First long ball in for Galax. Nelson Dews waiting at the scorer's table to go in for the Altavista Colonels. Montague's going to try an NBA range three. No good. Darius had his paws on the rebound. Has to save it in. They're going to say he had a foot on the baseline, out of bounds. That'll stop play with 2:54 remaining in the first. Colonels up 2.
Well, and on this last play with Galax on the offensive end, if you're guarding Conley, you got to come over top of that screen. You can't go behind that screen. He's just too good a shooter.
Excellent point. The screens are going to be used a lot for the Maroon Tide to get guys like Conley and some other three-point shooters some room. Here's one right here, Caleb Bartlett. He's going to use a right-hand dribble, 5 feet in front of half court. Fell down. Good pressure defense from Malbeck. Bartlett maintained the dribble. Now it's off to Conley. Conley whips it to DiGiacomo. DiGiacomo almost lost the basketball, but regained it. Free ball up from the left side for Bartlett's no good. Thornhill snatches another board. Juan's doing a number on the glass so far. Ball back, fakes the right wing three, pull up. Free throw line extended, 17-footer won't fall. And look at Galax want to get out and run. We thought they might slow it down. Transition basketball. Nelson Dews with the pickpocket. Just ripped it away from DiGiacomo about 10 feet away from the hoop.
And Meche 0 for 3, and all 3 of his shots have been right on line, just a little strong.
He'll find it eventually. Nelson bounces to the baseline to Darius Johnson. Darius' shot hit the side of the backboard. Rattled around for a while. He tried to rip it back, but just could not. And here comes Galax into the front court. Conley going to take his time. Walking with it now. Thornhill's giving him about a 5-foot cushion. Hands it off to Bartlett. Bartlett now a handoff play to Brown. Brown spins around. Kick out. Bartlett fires left wing. 3 is good. Galax has a lead, 10-9. Our second lead change of the ball game comes with 1:37 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. See how the Colonels respond to that, Oscar? Looks like they're going to respond with a set play. Montague pops to the top of the key. Left wing pass goes to Malbeck. Malbeck cut off and in trouble. Does get it over to Thornhill with a long pass. Back to Meche in the left corner. Meche working his way around the defense, slashing to the hoop. Right-hand finish won't fall, and it won't matter because it's an offensive foul. Malbeck a little out of control going to the bucket there. Second team foul on the Altavista Colonels. First one on number 1, Meche Malbeck.
Again, Galax has got Altavista a little bit out of sorts right now.
Well, and if you thought it was going to be easy, you better think again, because just because you're the perennial favorite, just because you're the back-to-back state champ, doesn't mean anybody's going to give it to you. Josh McClure in the ball game now for the Altavista Colonels. Conley going to back it out away from the hoop. Whips it down to Bartlett. Bartlett inside. This is William Brown in the ball game. Here comes Conley. Pull up 3 from the right wing. A little too short. High rebound controlled by William Brown in the Galax Maroon Tide. DiGiacomo has it. He's going to clear some space out. Now he'll bounce it off to Bartlett. Bartlett going to hand it back to Cliff Conley. Now it's right back to Bartlett. 2-man game working well. Bartlett for 3. Galax on top, 13-9. Colonel staring up at the scoreboard, wondering what hit him a little bit here. We're down to 30 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Thornhill, half spin move. Now it's left wing to Malbeck. In the corner to Donovan Montague. Back to Meche. Looks like still the zone defense from Galax. Meche thinking about a 3. Long 2 on the way. Front of the iron, no good. McClure working for the board, but can't dig it away from Cliff Conley. Conley going to go the other way from the Maroon Tide. Now he'll work it into a jog. Overhead pass in the corner to Bartlett. Bartlett back to Conley, nearly backcourt, but Conley saved it in. Thornhill got a hand in the passing lane, and there's the final buzzer there. Time snuck up on us, and I think it snuck up on the Maroon Tide. But it was a great first quarter for the Maroon Tide. 13-9. They lead over the Altavista Colonels. Second quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Businesses today are often focused on keeping their costs down, and we can help. I'm Daniel Wheeler with First National Bank, and we have a long history of offering cost-efficient business accounts. Today, we have a wide range of low-cost accounts for any size business. So just ask us about our business economy checking, small business interest checking, or other smart accounts. For progressive business banking, First National Bank will help you with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
I'm Kyle Hoehne. He is Oscar Briggs and Big O. What you see there in the first quarter, Colonel's trail. It wasn't an awful first quarter for Altavista, but Galax appeared to get the better of them for the most part.
No, I think the big key is that Colonels didn't get any threes. Attempted 4. Donovan with 1 and Meche with 3, and none of those went down. And that's been a rarity so far, certainly in the postseason for the Colonels.
Another shout out to my very near and dear friend Josh Cothran, who is listening at home. Of course, his wife, Chriselle Cothran, won one of those $100 gift cards we gave away on the KD Country Reached app. That's REACHT. Download that today. A lot to see and do on there and plenty of good things to win. Galax basketball to start the second quarter. 13-9. They're on top. Thornhill guarding Conley. Juan just staring into his chest there. Now Conley gets it off right wing, closer to the right sideline to Bartlett. Bartlett will back it up between the circles now. It's over to Dominic DiGiacomo. DiGiacomo guarded by Montague. Montague's going to make him pick up his dribble, and there's a steal and a turnover. Darius Johnson trying to collect it. He lost it. A couple Galax bodies on the deck there. Darius never had a full handle on it, and Galax rushed back to take it away from him. Brown, guarded by Nelson Dews. On the court right now for the Colonels. It's Thornhill, Dews, Darius Johnson, Donovan Montague, and Meche Malback.
Boy, the thing that jumps out from the first quarter that's glaring at me is rebounds.
3 ball up, no good from Caleb Bartlett. Rebounding cleared away by the Colonels.
Galax out-rebounded Altavista 9-4.
Interesting right there. Thornhill had 2 rebounds. Darius had 2. Hard to believe that that's all there was for Altavista. Juan's got at least 3. Nelson Dews, catch and shoot 3 from the left corner, won't fall. Nelly trying to get the basketball back. Oh, good hustle there, but he just couldn't quite steal it away from DiGiacomo in the backcourt. This is Caleb Bartlett now. Over left wing, it goes to Conley. Conley about 5 feet in front of us. We're courtside here from the Siegel Center on the campus of VCU. Now it's over right sideline in front of the Colonels bench, and Caleb Bartlett took too many steps. Credit Meche Malback there with the good defensive presence to force him into the mistake.
And Nelson Dews jumped the route that he was intended to pass it to and made him kind of do that double step as well. Colonels look like they're starting to turn up the defensive intensity a little bit, and they've got to. Galax has done a good job running their offense and getting some open looks for Bartlett and Conley.
Galax has done a nice job of running time off when they do have the basketball. We thought they might try and keep it a low-scoring game. It's 13-9 right now. Maroon Tide in front. Demetrius Johnson set up in the high post. Darius set up in the low post. They bounce it down low to Darius. Darius off the window, won't fall, but there's a blocking foul. They're going to catch Charles Harris, I believe. Too much body there. No, they're going to whistle that on number 20, William Brown. His first personal, Galax third as a team. And now Darius Johnson, the 70% free throw shooter for the Colonels, will get to try his hand there, and he rattles that one home, hit the front iron, side of the iron, then off the backboard, and finally fell down.
Didn't hit the backboard support apparatus.
No, the support apparatus is going to be harder to hit here at the Siegel Center. That one off back iron, no good. 13-10. Colonels trail here. 6:12 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. Maroon Tide basketball in the hands of Dominic DiGiacomo. Waist-high left-hand dribble. Surveying the defense. Probing. Picks up the dribble now. Donovan Montague comes to close him out. Just does get it off to Cliff Conley, and Conley guarded by Demetrius Johnson again. Demetrius going to get flagged with a little too much body there. Maybe it was the hand in the gut that the officials saw and didn't like. 13-10, Colonels trail. Second personal foul on Demetrius Johnson.
Coach Carler didn't like the call either.
Galax gets it inbounds just in front of midcourt. This is Dominic DiGiacomo. Going to hand it off for Conley. Demetrius Johnson still all over him like a wet blanket. Now it's another handoff play back to DiGiacomo. Boy, you can really get tongue-tied with that one. Three-pointer up from Conley. No good. Too strong. Rebound tracked down near midcourt by Donovan Montague. Conley hit the deck hard. He's going to shake off the cobwebs, and he is not well. He's not going to get up. Oh, boy. Conley was going after the rebound with Donovan. Donovan was over there on the left side. Conley spilled all the way out over there to the right side of the court. Hit the deck hard. Somebody bumped him with the knee. He's going to come out. Well, he's not going to come out.
He looked like he took a knee in the head.
Yeah. He is going to come out. He didn't want to come out.
They stopped playing for him. He has to. He has no choice.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Doesn't look to be all there. I'm sure he's going to try and shake it off. But, again, this is not the old days where the guy in the corner would just keep putting you back in there when you've been knocked down a bunch of times. New concussion standards might limit Cliff Conley's ability to come back in, if indeed that's what he has, but you never know. Scramble play out of bounds. Last touch off Demetrius Johnson in the right-hand corner. Hard for us to see from this perspective here.
Again, 5:15 remaining here in the second quarter. Colonels trailing 13-10. No momentum being gained here by the Colonels.
2 lead changes so far in this ball game. We're not used to saying the Colonels trail. We haven't had to say that much this year. This is Bartlett, handoff play over to Keyshawn Brown. Maroon Tide just trying to milk that clock. They've only got a 3-point lead, but you can already see they want to maximize these defensive possessions.
They're running that weave out front.
Absolutely. It's a 3-man handoff weave. Saw William Campbell do this a few times. You put one guy on each wing, one guy in the middle. Whichever way the guy dribbles, the guy from that wing greets him. They hand it off. They mesh together. It's hard to get a steal that way, and the Colonels may have to end up changing their defensive strategy. Good ball movement by Galax. Now it's a kick-out three for Bartlett, and that is good. Caleb Bartlett from 20 feet. 3-ball in, 16-10. Colonels trail by 6. Body language not real good right now for the Altavista Colonels, Oscar. Not their normal, usual upbeat selves. Ball back, right sideline.
I think you're absolutely right, and they've got to find somebody's got to. They've got to finally get a spark somehow, and really they've done it off of defense all year.
We're halfway through the second quarter. Darius, post move there from 5 feet, left-hand block is good. 16-12. Darius is putting together a nice ball game so far, particularly on the offensive end. Galax going to gain the front court now. Double team momentarily was Keyshawn Brown. Now it's off to Dominic DiGiacomo. Back to Brown on the handoff. Brown driving, went baseline to William Brown. Up to the top of the key between the circles is DiGiacomo. 3:30 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. The 16-12, Colonels trail by 4.
This handoff weave makes it very, very difficult to make an impact defensively.
They are milking the clock now. There's the steal. Malback got in the passing lane. Demetrius came up with a loose ball, but Demetrius with the carry as he was going up the right sideline directly in front of us. Again, he never really had full possession of the basketball, so you can't blame him.
No.
And Cliff Conley's head must be fine. He's right back in the ball game now. Took about a minute and a half or 2-minute break. On the court right now for the Colonels. Starters, Meche Malback, Juan Thornhill, Donovan Montague, Darius Johnson, and Demetrius Johnson. Malback takes a look at the scoreboard, and this is DiGiacomo guarded by Donovan Montague. In the corner, Bartlett for 3, back iron, too strong. Hard boxing out going on down there, and Conley finds the rebound somehow. Conley, high arcing 3 is good, and he is fouled. Got bumped to the deck by Donovan Montague. Coach Mike Cardallero wants to take a timeout. I think he wants to do it before the free throws. Let's take it with him. 19-12. Galax on top over the Colonels. 2:58 left to play in the second quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellers Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, it's a statement we haven't made many times this year. Colonels trail 19-12 to the Maroon Tide of Galax. Cliff Conley's going to toe the free throw line for a chance at a 4-point play. And Oscar, what do you think Coach Mike Cardallero mentioned in that timeout there, 30-second timeout for the Colonels?
Boy, I think he told them certainly they have to turn up the D. Conley knocks that down. Colonels trail by 8.
Nothing but net on that free throw for Conley. Same way on the three-pointer when he got fouled. 20-12, Altavista down, but certainly nowhere near out of this ball game with 2:45 left to play in the first half. Thornhill holds it above his head, peering inside the defense, doesn't see anything he likes, so goes along the perimeter right wing to Meche Malback. Now left wing, it goes to Montague. Bounces in the left corner to Demetrius Johnson. Long skip pass over the defense, right wing to Meche Malback. Oh, Malback, nice dish. He found 2 Colonel players. Montague and Demetrius battled themselves for it for a while. Donovan finally says, I'll take it, and sticks it up off the glass and in for 2.
Yeah,
20-14.
Both of those players made the same cut. They weren't 3 feet apart.
Well, they knew what Meche Malback was thinking anyway, and they were smart enough to go to the open area. Looks like a 2-3 zone again for Altavista. Oscar, maybe that was a change in the timeout to combat some of that handoff play that Galax is doing.
2-3 zone, and it looked like that guards were getting ready to trap out top. So that'll stop that 3-man weave.
I think you're exactly right. Kickball out of bounds. I think it hit Meche Malback's left toe. Conley will do the honors on the inbound, far sideline from us. Galax working right to left from our perspective, courtside here at the Siegel Center in VCU. We've almost reached the 2-minute warning of the first half. 20-14. Colonels trail by 6. It is the 2-3 zone. Colonels aggressive up top. That's Malback and Thornhill, the 2 guards. Conley, pull up 16-footer from the right side, won't fall. Thornhill grabs the rebound, then does a little spin move. In and out of traffic, puts his hand on the back of a Galax defender. Now leaves it off for Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius bodied up and fouled. Demetrius lost the basketball again, but this time with good reason. On the floor foul. Colonels will inbound baseline right underneath their own scoring basket. 20-14, they trail by 6. Still the starters out there for the Colonels, Oscar.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being very businesslike, which the Colonels have been, but they've got to find some emotion, some kind of charge here before the end of this half to get some momentum going.
I'll agree with that. You don't have to have the lead going into the locker room. It would sure be nice, but it would really be great to get some positive momentum. Thornhill, pull-up jumper from the right baseline. Too strong, no good. Demetrius Johnson trying to run down the rebound and can't. It was a good box out there from Cliff Conley. Really put the body on Darius Johnson nicely. And here comes the inbound on the far baseline. Right baseline from our perspective. 20-14. Galax on top. Their basketball with 1:26 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. Wouldn't be shocked to see them try and milk this clock all the way down for a final shot in the half. Conley into the front court. Fastball chest pass over to the left sideline to Caleb Bartlett. Bartlett bodied around by Thornhill. Juan didn't get much of him. It was about 5 feet in front of us, but he got more than the referee liked. And they whistle Juan for his first personal foul.
Yeah, even if you don't have any contact, when you reach over top of a player, you're going to get that. You're going to get that foul called.
On the court right now for the Maroon Tide, Dominic DiGiacomo, Keyshawn Brown, Cliff Conley, Charles Harris, and Caleb Bartlett. That's Conley right in front of us, left sideline. Nearly stolen away by Montague in the middle. Harris has it down low on the baseline, had in trouble. Kick out 3 ball for Cliff Conley. No good, little too strong, off the mark. DiGiacomo tried to save, and he called the timeout while he was saving. In midair, Dominic DiGiacomo grabbed the basketball, called for the timeout. Official granted it, and that's a great play right there with 51 seconds left in the quarter. Let's take a 30-second timeout with them. Colonels trail by 6, just under a minute left to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Mitch Haley with Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center. I would like to take this time to thank KD Country for the advertising opportunities they have provided me this past year. I would also like to thank our customers for making 2014 such a great year. It is because of your continuous support that we are able to expand our business and offer you more than we ever had in 2015. Come see us today at Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center, where you can shop small and save big.
Visit their newly remodeled showroom on 7th Street.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Galax basketball on the baseline underneath their scoring hoop with just under 50 seconds left to play in the half. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He's Oscar Briggs. Colonels trail by 6. Conley catches left wing. Galax clearly trying to massage this clock down, then hold for the last shot. And Bartlett will just put it under his hip and make Meche Malback come out and administer at least a 5-second count from the official. Brown's going to try a 3. Nobody was around him.
That's not
missed
the shot Galax wanted. I can tell you that.
They did not want that. Thornhill checks the rearview mirror, evades the defense. Now he's into the front court right wing. Nice bullet pass to Montague on the left side. Donnie's soft touch jumper won't fall. Rebound by Darius Johnson. Johnson stick back, and he is fouled. Darius Johnson going to breathe some life into this Colonel team. Crowd comes to their feet. Bench comes to their feet. And the Colonels have cut it to a 4-point deficit, with Darius having a chance to make it even less than that with the old-fashioned 3-point play. 20-16, Colonels trail. Here comes the free throw from Darius. Nice action, nice rhythm on the shot, and it goes in. 13.8 seconds left in the Select Air second quarter. DiGiacomo going to get it into the front court very quickly, almost on the full sprint. Lost the ball momentarily. Checks the clock. Long cross-court pass, looking for Bartlett, finds him. Conley looks up at the clock, sees where he's at, steps inside. Long two-pointer will fall at the buzzer. It hit the back iron, jumped up high on the loose ball rebound, and then fell in off the front iron. 22-17. Galax takes a lead into halftime. Subway halftime show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch funeral and cremation service. A family serving family since 1905.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show has arrived. Colonels trail 22-17 to a tough and ready Galax Maroon Tide squad. Boy, that last play there at the buzzer, Oscar, says it all. Conley was bottled up at the top of the key, just inside the three-point line. He wiggled his way in between two defenders, shot it up. The high rebound bounced up. It looked like it had no chance of going in, and it falls down at the buzzer for two more. And the Maroon Tide have hit a bunch of clutch shots like that. They've been shooting the ball well.
Well, Galax was up 20-12, and the Colonels put a little push on, got it to 20-17, and looked like they had some momentum going. And then that shot by Conley might have broken that up a little bit, but it looks like the Colonels are starting to get a little bit more focused. They went to that zone. And again, it's not your ordinarily pack it in 2-3 zone. It's very spread out. They're trapping out front and up on top of the key when they get the opportunity. But they're not going to let Galax continue to run that three-man weave and run 2 minutes off of blocking at a possession.
Yeah, Coach Carlero and his staff is, I'm sure, diagnosing and figuring out a way right now to take away that handoff play there where Galax just uses a three-man weave. They run to the right. The guy from the right meets the ball handler. They hand it off, and then they do the same thing over on the left side. They did it repeatedly a bunch of times. It's not a new tactic in basketball or anything, and there's a reason why it's been around for years, because it works. But there are ways to stop it. The Colonels are going to employ those ways as we move forward. 22-17 our score here on the Subway halftime show. Colonels trail. They trailed at the first quarter intermission break there, 13-9. They have led in this ball game. There's been 2 lead changes and 1 tie, not counting the 0-0 tie that we started with. We're awaiting some halftime statistics. While we await those, let's tell you again about the new grilled chicken strips at Subway. No artificial flavors, no artificial preservatives. The all-white meat premium cut chicken that is expertly prepared, lightly seasoned, and then grilled to perfection. The new grilled chicken strips at Subway, they taste better, and they are better. And, again, we're so thankful to have Subway as our halftime sponsor. Big shout-out to everybody in all 3 locations I have a feeling are tuned in, Oscar.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet they are. And, of course, I expect that third transition to be done by the end of the month. So we're, again,
absolutely right.
Awaiting stats right now.
22-17. The main statistic and the one that matters the most is the Maroon Tide on top. We've been talking a lot of things about what the Colonels haven't done, Oscar. Let's talk about some things Altavista has done right. I mean, Thornhill, his usual self, he doesn't have any dunks so far tonight, but he has controlled the game. He's got some guys some open looks. Colonels haven't knocked down any jumpers, so to speak, but for the most part, when they get it in the paint, they're pretty good. They just haven't gotten into the paint a whole lot as Galax playing his own defense themselves and sort of packing it in tight.
The Colonels 7-17 from the floor, 0 for 5 from three-point line. Meche Malbach's 0 for 4 So that's unusual because Meche certainly the last half of the season's been on fire.
Yeah, and the Colonel's still getting out-rebounded, hard for me to say. 14 rebounds for the Maroon Tide, 9 for the Altavista Colonels. Juan has 4 of those. Darius has 4 of those. Donovan has 1 rebound, and the Colonels only have 1 offensive rebound. That's something we're used to seeing. Altavista getting second chances, third chances, fourth chances sometimes.
Galax has done a very good job, again, outmanned, but from a height perspective, but they've done a good job boxing out and keeping the Colonels off that offensive glass.
Well, and once again, just because the Colonels are the reigning and defending state champions back-to-back doesn't mean it was going to get handed to them. They knew it was going to be tough. Everybody has their number, and Galax, make no mistake about it, is a very good ball club. They played a pretty good first half as well. Let's step aside. We'll come back. We'll talk some more about the stats, and we'll talk about what to expect in the second half. It's the Galax Maroon Tide up 22-17 over the Altavista Colonels. Subway halftime show. More of it when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
Life happens. Divorce, family problems, criminal charges, civil litigation, personal injury cases. Turn to David W. Shreve, an experienced attorney at law. David W. Shreve has been practicing law for 30-plus years. Free consultation for personal injury cases. Call today, 369-6621. 369-6621. David W. Shreve. Good luck to the Altavista basketball team in the playoffs. Go Colonels. David W. Shreve, located 7th Street, Altavista.
Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus company, Sunny Merriman Incorporated, along with their employees and families, joined together to congratulate the Altavista High School athletic teams for their outstanding sports seasons. Sunny Merriman wishes you the best in the playoffs and in your quest to bring home more state championship trophies to our community. Go Colonels, make us proud.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Maroon Tide leads 22-17. Subway halftime show has returned here from the Siegel Center in Richmond, the home of the VCU Rams. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He is Oscar Briggs. And Big O, I think we're going to have a very, very exciting second half to look forward to. I'm interested to see if the scoring pace will stay where it's at. It's low scoring so far. You think that'll remain the same? Galax seems to be working very hard to keep it a low-scoring ball game.
Well, I think there's 2 minutes left here in the half, and the Colonel's still not back on the floor. So Coach Carlero and his staff are working hard. And to your point, I think what you'll see if you're a Colonels fan, and I think that the Colonels will start picking up the pace on their offensive possessions. They've been very patient. We've seen them be patient all year, but I think they've got to have a little bit more urgency on offense, maybe go into a shot clock type mentality that, within 30 seconds they're going to get something up and going, if nothing else, to try to pick up the pace and make it a little bit more frenetic.
No, that's an interesting point, and I think a valid one by you. I think the Colonels will try and get some more shots up. Now, we know Altavista basketball. They're not going to force things. They're not going to take low percentage shots. But I think you may have hit the nail on the head there. I think they're going to try and get more active, get some more shots up. They're certainly going to get more active on the defensive end. We may see them employ some defensive strategies that include pressuring Galax in the backcourt and not letting the Maroon Tide get into the front court and run that three-man weave handoff play. This is, again, Subway halftime show here. Let's run down those halftime scoring numbers, OB.
Yeah, first for Altavista Colonels, Juan Thornhill with 2, Donovan with 2, Demetrius with only 3, Darius leading the Colonels with 10. And it was evident that we were able to work the ball, get the ball in down low. That was very successful for the Colonels. For the Maroon Tide, Caleb Bartlett with 9, Cliff Conley with 11, and DeGiacomo with 2.
Yeah, the Colonels have been successful inside. When they get it inside the paint, they've been finishing well. Darius, his usual self there on the interior for the Altavista Colonels. And Altavista in the home white jerseys, orange trim. They're going to be working right to left across your radio dial this half. As the Subway halftime show is done and we're ready to get the third quarter underway. We haven't seen a whole lot from Josh McClure. Nelson Dews was the first man in off the bench for the Colonels. Be interesting to see how Coach Carlero uses those substitution patterns here in the second half. It's a tough and ready Galax squad.
When Darius came out, Darius took himself out. He motioned to Coach Carlero. He wanted to come out. So.
Third quarter about to get underway. Colonel crowd here applauding the guys as they break the team huddle. Mike Carlero trying to inspire his team on. Folks, the Colonels have faced adversity before. This is not the first time. And again, this is as experienced a ball club as you'll ever find. Very few groups of seniors have 2 state championships already under their belt. And the Big Four has 4 state championships when you count the football field. Altavista basketball. Thornhill attacking, gets to the free throw line. Floater in and out, no good. Trying to get his own rebound, and does there in the left post. Good hustle play by Juan. Then he really used the pogo stick jumping. He had to jump a bunch of times there to get it back. Looks at the rim for a 3 ball. Now drives, cut off on the left side paint. Swinging it over to Maul back on the right wing. He throws it to Darius down low. Darius off the window and in. Tough leaning shot there for Darius from about 5 feet, and he hit 22-19. Colonels score first in the second half.
Darius, Demetrius picking up the intensity.
Conley, left wing, and a dribble to his right. Thornhill got the steal and a run out. Thornhill to the hoop. Right hand lay in will fall. Juan Thornhill with a nice defensive play to poke it away from Cliff Conley. 22-21. Colonels have cut the deficit to 1 just like that. They got a look in their eyes right now, Oscar.
They really do. I was getting ready to say Juan has really, Meche too. Both of them have focus on them. They're picking up the intensity. They are not pleased with the way they played in the first half as well.
I think you're exactly right. Colonels look like they're going to turn it up past level 10. They're going to go all the way to level 11, I think. 22-21. Galax still on top, and they still appear poised and comfortable despite this early rush in the third quarter from the Colonels. This is Caleb Bartlett. He's going to back it out left wing now, moving quickly to his left, middle of the court between the circles. Gets to the free throw line, jump stop, dishes it off. Conley, NBA range 3 from the left wing, won't fall. Rebound run down by Keyshawn Brown. Another 3 from Bartlett goes up quickly. That won't fall, and I think they're going to whistle a Colonel with an over-the-back foul. Somebody knocked.
Looked like Donovan Montague came over the back.
He knocked the Giacomo to the deck. Galax will inbound underneath their scoring basket with 6:23 left to play in the Select Air third quarter.
Nobody in any foul trouble for the Colonels.
Bartlett fakes the pass. Now he'll move slowly to his right. He's about 30 feet away from the hoop. Into Conley, closer to the three-point line. Left wing, it goes to Keyshawn Brown. Brown looking for some space. He's guarded tightly by Demetrius Johnson. Tried to work through a screen. It goes in the right-hand corner to Conley. Conley leaves it off for DiGiacomo, who is awaiting patiently on the left-hand post. DiGiacomo got by his man, slipped free, and got 2 points. Galax's first points of the second half. 24-21. Donovan Montague catches from 10 feet. Soft jump shot won't fall. Donnie tried to grab his own rebound, but could not.
And again, another one and done for the Colonels.
Too many of those. 24-21. They trail by 3. 5.5 left to play in the Select Air third quarter.
Well, you got a good look. That's a shot you want.
Conley, contested 3 is good. Thornhill closed him out well, but Cliff Conley drains it from long distance. 21-footer, spacing the lead out some more for Galax. 27-21. Maroon Tide dropping back in their 2-3 zone. Thornhill catches top of the key. Left wing to Malback. Malback, right-hand dribble, working to his right. Back to Thornhill. Now Donovan Montague in front of the Colonel's bench on the right side. 5 minutes left to play in the Select Air third quarter. Demetrius skip past the Thornhill left wing. Inside it goes to Darius. First shot blocked. Got it back. Put it up right over the front of the rim strongly for 2. Darius Johnson playing through the contact, and he is fouled. Back to the free throw line to cut into the lead. 27-23.
Right now, Darius is taking his Colonel team and put him on his back.
He's done that in the past. And while we have a moment, we must remind you that the third quarter brought to you by Select Air. Call 332-2600. Donovan Montague on the offensive rebound off the missed free throw. Meche, one dribble, picks it up. Now he goes to the corner to Demetrius Johnson. Thornhill had to save it in. A very high pass from Demetrius Johnson, but a good athletic play by Juan to recapture the basketball. Right wing, it's ball back, driving, free throw line, puts the shot up. They're going to whistle Meche for a traveling violation. Meche was blanketed by a couple defenders, and he felt sure that he got fouled on the play, and I tend to agree with Meche on this one. 27-23, Colonels trail by 4.
4:35 remaining here in the third quarter.
This is Dominic DiGiacomo. Just going to glide into the front court here for the Galax Maroon Tide. Now he'll work to his right on an angle to the right wing. Long cross-court bounce pass goes to Bartlett. Bartlett, short chest pass to Conley. Conley working through some screens. One-hand pass back to Bartlett. Galax leads by 4, and they have the basketball. Bartlett, catch and shoot three is good. Galax is just raining it in from long distance. Mike Cardellaro needs a timeout. Let's take it with him. Colonels trail by 7. 4:07 left to play in the Select Air third quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
My friends call me the perfectionist. At English's Building Supply, my neighborhood Glidden paint dealer, they greet me by name. You see, I like to get things exactly right, especially when it comes to my painting projects. So I'm at English's Building Supply a lot, whether it's mixing the perfect Glidden paint for my project or offering great incentives. They do business just the way I like it, perfectly. English's on North Main Street, Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Maroon Tide leading by 7. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He is Oscar Briggs. Big O. Galax hit 5 threes in the first half. They've hit 2 here to start the third quarter. Add in a deuce from Dominic DiGiacomo, and the lead is out to 7 points again for Galax.
And the Colonels are still 3-less on the night. So they've got to turn up again, continue. They're working hard defensively. They've gotten a couple of good looks offensively that they want to get. Hadn't knocked all of them down. They've got to certainly pick up intensity on both ends of the floor.
Galax comes into the ball game at 16-11. They lost in their conference championship game. They lost in the region championship game. But make no mistake about it, this is a very good ball club. Don't let the record fool you. Josh McClure in the ball game for the Altavista Colonels. Demetrius pops to the top of the key. Catch and shoot NBA range 3 for Meche. Won't fall in. Rebound rattled around and out of bounds. Last touch off the Colonels. Another one and done for Altavista off the timeout. 3:52 left to play here in the Select Air third quarter, and you're seeing the defensive pressure about to be applied like you talked about. Looks like the Colonels going with the full court defense. DiGiacomo will inbound. 10-foot chest pass into Cliff Conley. Conley's just going to race it down with the left hand middle of the court. Now he breaks the timeline. Stutter step move, left sideline. Top of the key to Keyshawn Brown, guarded by Demetrius Johnson. Galax basketball with 3:35 left to play in the third.
Interesting defensive matchup, but they've got Meche now on Conley.
They've tried a bunch of different guys on Conley. Demetrius Johnson took his turn. Juan Thornhill took his turn. Now it's Meche Malback. We may even see some more. Catch and shoot 3 for Conley. Hit the deck on the missed shot. Rebound tracked down by Charles Harris. Colonels were all around it, but they just could not get the basketball. Great hustle by Galax. Colonels didn't do a bad job on the block out. Really just unfortunate that the ball bounced the wrong way. 3:04 left to play in the ball game. On the floor foul, and it's against the Galax Maroon Tide. Offensive foul. Basketball is going to return to Altavista.
And the Colonels still, you talk about body language, 3:04 remaining here in the third quarter. They still have just a befuddled look on their face.
30-23. Colonels lead by 7. I agree with you about the body language. It's not the usual pep in the step for the Altavista Colonels right now. Again, I don't think there's reason to fear just yet. Colonels have had their back to the wall plenty of times in the long and illustrious, unmatched career of these seniors. Meche and Juan playing pitch and catch from the top of the key to the right wing. Now left wing to Nelson Dews, who is in the ball game. Thornhill to the free throw line. Floater up, in and out, no good. Another one and done. Rebounded by Charles Harris for the Galax Maroon Tide.
Boy, that's another shot that you wanted. I mean, Juan was in the paint, little floater from about 6-8 feet, and it hits the side of the rim, spun out.
Yeah, it looked good. It nearly went down, had good action on it. Conley driving left hand, thought about a step back long two, passed instead. It's over right wing to Keyshawn Brown. He circles the defense to his left. Pump fake by Bartlett. Leaves it off to Giacomo. He lost it. Loose ball. Picked up in the middle by Darius, but you're right, caused by Demetrius Johnson. Good job by Demetrius to jab it away. Colonels, front court. Nelson Dews going to tee up a three ball. That's off. Missed to the right, missed badly. Barely nicked the rim. 30-23. 2 minutes left to play here in the Select Air third quarter.
And the problem being down by 7 when you're limited possessions like the Colonels are getting.
Demetrius Johnson hits the deck hard, but he's going to get the whistle blown against him. Foul Brown as Brown was working to his left. Yeah, to your point, in a low-scoring game like this, you're not that far out of it, but your possessions are going to be limited.
And again, just the body language for the Colonels is not good right now.
Well, you can't always have your A game, and the great teams can win without their A game. They can find a way to dig deep and make something happen even when it's not their best night or best afternoon in this case. And there's a turnover. Thornhill helping cause the steal. Bartlett lost the handle on the near sideline for Galax. And Juan Thornhill will bring it up just a little left of center. Juan trying to cheer the guys on. He's giving everybody this stern look, saying, let's go. Left wing over to Nelson Dews on the court right now for the Colonels. Excuse me, that's going to have to wait. That basketball tipped away. Darius ran it down. It's Darius Johnson, Donovan Montague, Meche Malback, Nelson Dews, and Juan Thornhill. 1:30 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. I said don't worry, but it's getting late early out here. We're under 90 seconds left to play in the quarter. Colonels down 7. Altavista having to take their time on the possessions because of the packed-in 2-3 zone.
And this is playing right into Galax's hand, and you can't blame Galax for packing that zone back inside, or because the Colonels have shown that they can't hit from 3-point today.
They missed another one. Nelson Dews lost it, but he got his own rebound. Fell to the ground, dished it off to Donovan Montague. Pass out of bounds. Last touch. Oh, boy. Off of the Colonels. Tough angle there for us. Tough angle for the officials. That ball went quickly along the baseline. It didn't appear that anybody really touched it. 62 seconds left to play in the Select Air third quarter. Galax up 7. They have the basketball still in the backcourt. Montague backpedaling, giving his man Keyshawn Brown some room. Donnie checks the scoreboard. It reads 30-23 Galax. Nearly a steal by Thornhill. Juan trying to turn up the intensity a bit. They get it in the corner. This is Bartlett along the right wing. He'll dribble it out. Up top to Conley, 3 feet in front of half court. Conley, left-hand dribble, looking for help. Hands it off to Brown. Brown hands it off to Caleb Bartlett. Here comes the handoff series again. 3-man weave action. 30 seconds left to play in the half. Another handoff to Brown. Back to Bartlett. Bartlett circles the defense with the right-hand dribble to his right. Now it's back to Conley. Conley, dribble penetration, leaves it off for DiGiacomo. Back out. Conley, catch and shoot long two. No good. And the rebound controlled by nobody yet. Charles Harris for Galax. Jump ball tie up finally. No, they call a 3-second violation. Second one we've seen on the day, Oscar. It's the third one we've seen on the year. You don't see that call very much. And, boy, if I'm Burl Brown, the Galax head coach, I'm not particularly pleased about the call. 9 seconds left in the corner. Colonels have got to get up a buzzer beater chance, I think. Malback, NBA range 3, up. Didn't hit anything. Nelson Dews tracks down the rebound, tried to feed it off to Donovan, but there's the buzzer. Colonels ran out of time on that possession. Altavista is going to go in the fourth quarter down by 7, 30-23. Do not miss this fourth quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
If credit card processing is important to your business, I can help. I'm Ramonda Davis of First National Bank, and I'm your local e-commerce officer for merchant card and other electronic business products. Local means I live in Central Virginia. I'm ready to come see you and respond quickly to what you need. Local means I'm focused just on your business needs. For the latest in electronic payment technology and competitive pricing, contact me, Ramonda Davis. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels not scoring at will like we're accustomed to, and they trail by 7. So glad you could join us wherever you are, whether you're listening online thanks to our All-State agent in Lynchburg, Chris Owen, or whether you're listening at home on 105.5 FM. Buckle your seatbelt. Strap yourself in nicely. You may want to buckle the chin strap, too. I got a feeling we're in for a bumpy ride in the fourth quarter. What do the Colonels have to do to come back, Oscar?
Boy, somebody's got to start making some shots. And I think that at the Galax-Hoehne game the other night, Galax was in a very similar situation and had Hoehne went on a 9-0 run, and you got to have some kind of run like that out of the Colonels to get them back in this ball game.
I think so. A run is really what it's going to take. Colonels have done that a bunch this year, so they can do it. They have the ability. And, again, this team has had its back to the wall before. Backdoor cut finds Keyshawn Brown. Kick out pass to Bartlett. Good for 3. The Maroon Tide has hit 8 3-pointers in the game. Count them. 8 long balls for Galax. Colonels, they have not hit a single one. They're 0 for 9 from behind the stripe. I think they probably got to keep shooting them, though. Malbeck driving to the dish. High off the window and in. Good athletic play by Meche Malbeck to get the Colonels some points.
7:30 remaining here in the ball game, and that's Meche's first basket.
Wow. Meche nearly got a steal. Yes, he did. Donovan picked up the loose ball, but it was caused by Meche. Donovan turns around over to Thornhill. Juan strides to the basket. Good play by Thornhill. 4-point run, and here comes the Colonel crowd getting behind them.
Is this the run that they've been looking for, Kyle? They need a couple more.
I
They need
agree.
to stop right here.
Bounce pass. Charles Harris has it. Here comes the long chest pass up to the top of the key to Keyshawn Brown. Brown's going to slow things down, take the air out of the ball, and try and prevent a Colonel run. Galax, again, has looked composed and poised the entire ball game. Smart ball club. They lead 33-27.
And they're back in that three-man weave again. And Meche Malbeck's done a great job with, he's done a better job than anybody on shutting Conley down.
They have had to work out front. Demetrius Johnson going to get flagged as he reaches in and tries to strip the basketball away. 4th team foul on the Altavista Colonels. I believe it's Demetrius' 3rd. But at this point, with 6:43 left to play in the fourth quarter, I don't think it matters. I think you leave everybody in.
No, and they've got to find a way. That handoff weave is so hard to come over the top, and that's what Demetrius was trying to do right there.
Yep. Here it is again. DiGiacomo hands to Keyshawn Brown. It's probably getting old. Bartlett hands back to DiGiacomo.
Well, not only is it tough to defend against, but it's extremely taxing on you physically.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No shot clock in high school basketball, and the Colonels have used that to their advantage a time before. Malbeck gambled on the steal, nearly tore it away from Conley, but Conley got it back. Now it's Keyshawn Brown. Couple dribbles, back out towards midcourt. It goes to DiGiacomo.
6 minutes remaining. 5-second call.
Got to be getting close. DiGiacomo finally handed it off. It was Montague on the suffocating defense, and Coach Verl Brown for Galax going to call a timeout. We'll take the timeout with them. We have exactly 6 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Colonels trail 33-27 on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
33-27, Maroon Tide leading here from the Siegel Center at VCU. Altavista on the ropes, but definitely not out of it, Oscar. They have not scored in double figures an entire quarter this game. That's something we're used to saying about the Colonels' defense, limiting the other team to under double figures. I think Altavista's got to break that mark if they want to get a win.
I think you're right. And again, 6 minutes remaining, trailing by 6. They've got to have, I think on this stop, they really need a possession. Let's not do or die at this point, but I think for the little momentum that they've gained after trailing by 10, they need it.
Yeah, Colonels have 3 timeouts left. Galax has 3 as well. 5:55. Montague all over to DiGiacomo. There's the 5-second count. Donovan Montague all over him like a pit bull on a ham hock. Great job, Donnie, there to get the basketball back for the Colonels.
And there was an instant exchange between the official and Coach Cardellaro going into that timeout. So, and it was over the 5-second call. So you got to wonder if that had some influence.
Colonels got the stop. Let's see if they can get the points. Thornhill to the free throw line right side. Now over to Montague. Feeds it down low to Darius. Darius, turn around. Soft touch with the right hand is good from the middle of paint. 33-29. Maybe this is the run. Coach Chad Ward and Coach Mike Carolero imploring his team to get in the backcourt and play some full-court defense. But everybody from Altavista dropped back into a half-court set. 33-29. Colonel's down by 4. Montague on DiGiacomo again. This time they're going to whistle Donnie with the foul. Don't think you can fault Donovan there, and you probably can't fault the official either. Donovan was really inching closer to getting inside the actual jersey of of Dominic DiGiacomo. Demetrius in the ball game again, Oscar.
Yeah, and I don't mind the fouls with 5:16 remaining. You want to get where you're close to into that 1-and-1 situation. You certainly don't want to have to start fouling late to put them at the free throw line if you continue to trail.
Sure. Backdoor cut, that's Bartlett. He kicks it back out. It finds the hands of Keyshawn Brown between the circles, 30 feet away. Here comes the handoff set again. DiGiacomo nearly lost it, saved it inbounds right in the corner, and he's going to burn a timeout to save the possession. We just took one. Let's keep it right here for this one, Oscar, because the way this is shaping up, both teams are going to use their full complement of timeouts before this is over. Colonels trail by 4, but have looked better in the last 2 minutes here.
Yeah, they've certainly turned up the defensive intensity, and it looks like a couple of the loose ball situations starting to come their way. A big lockdown D play by Donovan Montague. Again, continuing to feed Darius Johnson. I still think the Colonels have got to find somebody else to score, whether it be Demetrius, Juan penetration, or somebody, the Colonels, again, without a three-pointer tonight.
Yeah.
That's just remarkable.
Well, and again, not that you have to make a 3 to win the ball game, but it would certainly help if the Colonels could hit a long ball at some point tonight, just for not only the bonus point, but also it might open up that defense a little bit. Colonels nearly got a steal on the inbounds play.
Had an opportunity.
On the court right now for the Colonels, it is the starters, the brothers Johnson, Darius, and Demetrius, Meche Malbeck, Donovan Montague, and Juan Thornhill. 5 seniors out there right now.
Conley yet to score since Meche Malbeck started guarding.
Well, there you go.
He hit a 3 early in the first quarter. In part of the third quarter, but since then, Meche's done a very good job on Conley.
That's great coaching right there by Coach C and his staff. Good strategy change. Colonels still trail by 4. We're under 5 minutes to play. Thornhill gambled on the steal with Bartlett. Bartlett got rid of it to Conley. Bartlett back again. Montague gets a hand in the passing lane and pokes it out of bounds. This will force a reset. Galax to inbound, left baseline. 4:43 left to play in the select air. Fourth quarter. 33-29. Here comes the inbound play. Motion, screens going on. DiGiacomo had to hurry. Oh, excuse me, that was Brown. He does throw it into DiGiacomo. I'm telling you, that's hard to say. The man's name is Dominic DiGiacomo. He's a senior guard for Galax. Thornhill, soft double team on Brown. Now it's over to Bartlett, 35 feet away from the hoop. He'll work it between the circles, middle of the court. Bounce pass over to Keyshawn Brown. Brown weaving his way in and out of the defense. Got inside the paint, but decided to back it back out to Conley. Galax trying to milk the clock. Not necessarily trying to score until there's a complete breakdown from the Colonels.
There's
the
problem
steal.
with that.
Yep. Thornhill got in the passing lane. They disrupted that handoff, three-man weave. Here comes Juan, right of center. Now he works to the left side of the court. Whips it over to Donovan Montague. Donovan flips it back to Juan. Juan, soft lob down low to Darius. Darius triple team momentarily. Kick out to brother Demetrius. And Demetrius with a 16-footer. Good. Colonels are within 2. Closest they've been since about 6 minutes in the third quarter, Oscar, when they had it down to a 1-point Galax lead.
Well, and the problem is as the Colonels have turned up the defensive intensity. That's an offensive foul. Great job. It was a trip, and it was certainly unintentional. Tough break for Galax, but as you turn up the defensive intensity against if the Colonels turn it up and you're trying to hold the ball, you're slowing your offense down, and not a lot of good things can happen.
I agree. 33-31. Galax leads, but it's Altavista basketball with 3:30 left to play in the ball game. In regulation, that is. Colonels can tie or perhaps snatch the lead back. Malbeck catches left wing. Thought about a 3. Picks up the dribble off to Demetrius. Back over to Juan. Colonel's going to settle it down, reset the possession. 2-3 zone from the Galax Maroon Tide. Malbeck nearly lost. A little bit of an errant pass from Darius, but he runs it down with not much of a problem.
Colonel's being very patient. Big possession for him.
Absolutely. Coach Carolero seems like he doesn't mind shortening the game himself. Bunch of Colonel fans on their feet, Tide fans on their feet. And I'll tell you what, if you're listening at home, you might want to get on your feet too. Colonels trail by 2. Under 3 minutes left to play in the select air, fourth quarter. Set play coming from Malbeck. Thought about a really long three. He's got a foot inside the sideline. He'll step up, picks up the dribble, bounces it free throw line to Demetrius Johnson. Back to Thornhill. They're going to reset the offensive possession again.
I'd like to see them go a little bit quicker. But
Ball
that's just
back.
me. 2:35 remaining here in the ball game.
Yep.
Trailing by 2.
Meche peers inside the defense. Now it's back to Juan, top of the key. Juan will drive. Going to take matters in his own hand.
No, he's
nice
not.
lob pass to Darius Johnson. Juan Thornhill drew the defense into him, then just dumped it over the top of the D to Darius with a nice finish. We are tied, 33-33. Second tie of the ball game. Conley driving, cut off by Malbeck. Kick out three on the way, too short. There's Juan waiting for the rebound patiently. Colonels can grab the lead here on this possession. Juan, crossover dribble behind the back. Another free throw line, Jay from Demetrius. Too strong. Basketball out of bounds off Donovan Montague. He got both left and right hands on it, but could not reel it in. It was a contested rebound. We have exactly 2 minutes left to play in regulation.
Well, that was either a foul on the Colonels or Colonels' ball, from my perspective.
Colonels going with the full court pressure. 2 men set up in the backcourt for Galax. Now they send a third in. That's Charles Harris. He catches the long pass. And DiGiacomo's just going to jog it into the front court. Turns his back to the bucket momentarily. He shook Donovan Montague and got some room to pass it away to Bartlett. 33-33. We're tied. Don't miss this last minute and 40 seconds. That's what we have left. Turnover there. Yeah. It was Darius helping cause it. Charles Harris lost the basketball through his hands.
Again, Donovan Montague aided in on that, too. Colonel's going to get another opportunity. 139, ball game tied.
Seniors on the court right now for the Colonels, and we've got 90 seconds left to play in regulation. We're tied 33-33.
Now the Colonels are going to be selected. It wouldn't surprise me to see them hold it for one.
May hold for the last shot.
Clearly on their side.
I think you're right. Let's see what the Colonels do. We're down to 122 left to play. Coach Carlero studying the clock, studies the Galax defense. Colonel players are doing the same. Malbeck catches right sideline. You can see Coach C gesturing now, hey, let's wait. You can see him give the signal to Thornhill. And now Coach C is saying when they go to the man-to-man defense, we're going to run the four corners. We're going to spread the court. Cardellaro in close conversation with Meche Malbeck. Juan holding it on his hip. No dribbles just yet. The 2-3 defense has not come out past the three-point line for Galax. Altavista is setting up for the last shot. Cardellaro and Thornhill having a conversation. Now they're going to bring it into a huddle with a timeout. Let's take a 30-second timeout with them. We are all tied, 33-33. 50 seconds left to play in regulation on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Mitch Haley with Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center. I would like to take this time to thank KD Country for the advertising opportunities they have provided me this past year. I would also like to thank our customers for making 2014 such a great year. It is because of your continuous support that we are able to expand our business and offer you more than we ever had in 2015. Come see us today at Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center, where you can shop small and save big.
Visit their newly remodeled showroom on 7th Street.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
So glad that you have decided to join us here in KD Country. You're certainly getting your money's worth. We are all tied up. 33-33. Less than 1 minute to play, Oscar.
You implored the fans at home to get on their feet. I know Dennis D-Lab said he's on his.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Basketball fan from coast to coast in every state, in every area, is getting treated to a good ball game here. Colonel fans, I'm sure, on their feet or at least on the edge of the seat. Malbeck and the official having a discussion. Do you think after the timeout, Colonels are still going to attempt to hold for one, Oscar?
Absolutely. Galax, again, the Colonels stay in the zone. The Colonels have not hit anything. Coach Brown's now urging them out. They're coming out a little bit, but
Thornhill passes it to the left side, right in front of us to Donovan Montague. No dribble from Monty.
That's just token.
Yep.
To keep Colonels keep Juan from holding the ball on his feet. He's told him to back down.
Down to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you think it's Malbeck taking the last second three-pointer, maybe, Oscar? You think they try and get it inside to one of the Johnson brothers?
I think Juan tries to penetrate, and it's either a kick-out feed to one of the Johnsons or he does a...
Yep. Comes down to this. 10 seconds. Thornhill over to Malbeck, right wing. Meche fouled along the sideline there. Maroon Tide has some fouls to give, so that's probably a smart strategy from Coach Burl Brown. We're down to 9 seconds left.
See, that's the problem now is that they do have fouls to give, and if they're smart, they'll continue to utilize those.
Malbeck inbounds it to Thornhill. Right back to Meche Malbeck. Meche fouled. Little token reach in. You're exactly right. We're down to 6.6 seconds left. But now can the Colonels set up a catch-and-shoot inbound play at the buzzer possibility? Coach Cardellaro is going to take another timeout, it looks like to me.
They've got one more to give, too.
Yep. Here we go. Colonels will inbound with 6.6 seconds left. Into Malbeck. Meche looks at the score clock. Up the right sideline. Bodied up there. Exactly what we thought would happen. That'll be the 6th-team foul for the Maroon Tide. Now they cannot commit the intentional foul without putting the Colonels on the free throw line. You don't want to do that. Tie ball game, 33-33. Colonel's going to use another timeout. Let's take it with them. 30-second variety. 33-33. 3.7 seconds left in regulation on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
3.7 seconds left in our ball game. We're all tied, 33-33. The Altavista Colonels and the Galax Maroon Tide. I'm Kyle Hoehne. He's Oscar Briggs, Agent Zero. You've certainly got a play drawn up for this situation. It's going to be a sideline inbounds pass. You're open for a catch and shoot. It doesn't have to be a three, obviously, because we're tied, and you do have time for maybe a dribble or two.
Yeah, you do have time for a dribble or two. And the good thing is that unless something dramatic happens, which we've seen at this level before, worst case scenario, you're looking at overtime.
And that's why the Colonels chose to hold for one there with about 90 seconds left. They got that basketball, I think, with 1:25 exactly. Thornhill just going to catch the ball from the referee, and Coach Mike Cardellaro calls another timeout. Let's keep it here. You like that there by Coach C? Wanted to see what defense they come out in.
Exactly what he was doing, taking a peek and seeing what Galax was coming out in. And they were out in that little 2-3 again, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I think it was a 2-3 zone as well.
That's what they've been in all night. They ran man for a little bit in the first quarter, but they didn't stay in there long.
And, of course, Coach Verl Brown can use the little wrinkle, and he could come out in a different defense now. And I'm sure Coach C will address that in the huddle, saying, hey, if they come out in the 2-3 zone, again, we're doing this. If they come out in the man-to-man, let's try this play. 33-33. We're all tied up. I said it once, I'll say it again. Get on your feet. If you're not on your feet yet, something wrong with you here in the last 3.7 seconds of regulation. Looks like the 2-3 zone again. Thornhill will do the honors on the inbound. Looks down the sideline. He'll go to Meche Malbeck. Meche driving, bump, shot up. Good! Meche Malbeck with the buzzer beater to win it for the Altavista Colonels. What a play! Malbeck caught it about 30 feet away in the middle of the court. Looked at the clock, thought about a three, then he took 3 dribbles to the free throw line, fired a soft floating jumper to the rim, and it goes in. Subway postgame show on the way when you come back. Colonels win by 2, 35-33 on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today. El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, in what turned out to be a game for the ages, one we will always remember, the Altavista Colonels prevail by 2, 35-33. Meche Malback with the dagger, the buzzer beater at the end from about 16 feet to win it for the Colonels. How about the gutsy strategy from Coach Cardellaro, milking the clock down? Altavista got the basketball back. They were tied with about 1:22 left in the game, Oscar. They rode that clock all the way down. Malback with the knockdown, soft floating jumper.
Well, you talked about excuse me. Galax only scored 3 in the fourth quarter. That was the very first part of the fourth quarter.
Right.
Bartlett hit the 3, put them up by 10.
Yep.
So the Colonels finished the game on a 12-0 run. We kept saying, is the run coming, is the run coming? It finally came, and it came again off the hands of the defense.
Yeah.
And, you know, Galax may have gotten a little protective with that 10-point lead and tried to milk the clock. But as we talked about, with about 5.5 minutes left, against this Colonel defense with the athleticism and the tough D, hard-nosed D that they play, and again, they went back to man-to-man, and that's their bread and butter. But with the tough defense they play, not a lot of good things can happen when you get them chasing you out on the floor.
Exactly right, and we both said it. Coach Cardellaro and his staff are going to find a way to beat that three-man weave, or at least counter it anyway, and they did. How about the decision, which you pointed out, to put Meche Malback on Cliff Conley in the fourth quarter? Mr. Electric, Mr. Excitement for the Galax Maroon Tide. He was as good as advertised, but Meche shut him down in the last 7 minutes of that game.
Well, he shut him down. He hit his only 3 points in the second half was early in the third quarter. Meche picked him up with about 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter, so he guarded him for a quarter and a half and absolutely shut him down.
What a ball game! What a ball game!
I got to tell you, it was too much. Too close for this color guy to sit through me like that.
Not good for your blood pressure, huh, Mr. Briggs?
No.
Hey, that's what kind of action you get here in the state semifinals. Hey, quick timeout. We're going to bring it back. Your chance to win with Subway, and trust me, we'll recap this thing again. You'll have your chance to relive this before Oscar and I leave today. Colonels win 35-33, featuring the buzzer beater from number 1, Meche Malback. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus company, Sunny Merriman Incorporated, along with their employees and families, joined together to congratulate the Altavista High School athletic teams for their outstanding sports seasons. Sunny Merriman wishes you the best in the playoffs and in your quest to bring home more state championship trophies to our community. Go Colonels, make us proud.
Life happens. Divorce, family problems, criminal charges, civil litigation, personal injury cases. Turn to David W. Shreve, an experienced attorney at law. David W. Shreve has been practicing law for 30-plus years. Free consultation for personal injury cases. Call today, 369-6621. 369-6621. David W. Shreve. Good luck to the Altavista basketball team in the playoffs. Go Colonels. David W. Shreve, located 7th Street, Altavista.
Does it seem that most stores don't care about good service these days? Well, at English's Building Supply, good service is still the king. They greet me with a smile, help me select the highest quality Glidden paint, provide expert color matching, and even carry my paint to the car. They help me get the job done right and make it last. At English's Building Supply, the customer is still king. English's Hardware and Building Supply, North Main Street, Altavista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
What a ball game here from the Siegel Center in Richmond. Colonels come out on top, 35-33. Wow. Wow, oh wow. Low-scoring game, but certainly as exciting as some of those 80-point games that the Colonels put forward. I'm Kyle Hoehne. Joining me is Oscar Briggs. And, Oscar, we got a lot more to talk about in this ball game. I don't know where to start. Maybe we start again with the fact that Meche Malbeck was pretty cold for a while. I think you told me about midway through the third quarter he didn't have a point. He didn't have any points in the first 3 quarters, only ended up with 4 in the game. But how big was the last one that he poured in?
No, got the little driving layup here about midway through the fourth quarter during the run, during that 4-0, 6-0 run. And, you know, Meche looked tentative on his shot tonight. And we talked about, you know, Meche has never met a shot he didn't like. Well, he looked tonight like he was, after his first 3 or 4, it looked like, well, he really didn't take any more, he didn't attempt any more threes.
Yeah.
But, boy, push came to shove. You would think, we both thought the play would have gone through Juan's hand. No, Meche got it. That 2-3 zone, one of the weak spots, is at 2 point at the top of the key, and Meche did a good job of penetrating through there. Got the 1-footer, leaning shot up.
Yeah.
And it was nothing. It was no doubt when it left his hand, it was going in.
Yeah, it looked good the whole time for sure. And let me say, before we do the win with Subway, let me say these 2 things about Meche Malbeck. He is always ready come playoff time. And number 2, hard to find anybody more dangerous, pound for pound, than number 1, Meche Malbeck. He is a fantastic player, and he's been showing that off for 3 years for the Altavista Colonels. Let's give you a chance to win a foot-long meal deal courtesy of Subway in Altavista. We may pick a couple winners today since it's a special day here in the state semifinal. All you need to do is post the phrase buzzer beater to the KD Country Facebook page. That's buzzer beater. That's what we had today to the KD Country Facebook page in honor of the Meche Malbeck jump shot at the horn to win it for the Altavista Colonels. Spelling not really important, but get it close so we know what you're talking about. And, again, more shout-outs to the gang working at all the Subways. Shout-outs to my buddy Donnie Bryant from Select Air Mechanical and Electrical. Don't know if they're listening at El Caso or not, but I have a feeling that they are. Stephen and everybody, hello to you guys. Keep up the great work. Kay Henderson, Greg Walker, the gang down at Fellers, I have a feeling was definitely tuned into this one, Mr. Briggs.
Yeah, even North Carolina, I think some of the Briggs family was actually listening today. Sister Lynn, I know, texted me asking me a question or 2, so thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Well, let's set the table a little bit for the next game, Oscar, although I'm sure we'll still talk about this one again here as we keep on going in the Subway halftime show.
Yeah, we got the Chris Owen player, but yeah, let's look forward a little bit.
Let's look forward a little bit. Sure. Hoehne won in the first semifinal, the 10 a.m. game against Surrey. It was a game that was close for the first half, but Hoehne really imposed their will, pulled away, and interestingly enough, you and I were in press room when they were talking to the head coach from Hoehne. That is Mr., as I'm fumbling through my grossly underprepared notes, the head coach is Mr. Marcus Dunham. Nice guy, said a lot of good things in the post-game interview. They asked him, so you set up a matchup with Altavista Wednesday. What do you think about the Colonels? And you and I kind of looked at each other, and everybody else in the room looked around and said, wait a minute, the Colonels have to get through Galax first.
And how foreboding was that question now?
Exactly. Well, and you and I both talked about it. It's a little bit disrespectful to Galax, and it's also a little bit disrespectful to Hoehne, too, to ask him about another team and against an opponent that is undetermined. But now the opponent is determined, so I guess it's all for naught.
Certainly this Galax team turned out to be a ubiquitous opponent tonight.
There was great synergy out there. There was seamless synergy out there on the court as well. Hoehne is a team with good size, folks. Let's tell you that about the Tigers right now. They've got a 6'8" man in Tanner Robinette. They've got a 6'5" man in Casey Harmon. That was the very good tight end for the Tigers back on the gridiron. They've got a couple guys 6'2", a couple guys 6 foot, and in fact, there's only one man on the roster under 6 feet tall, and he's 5'10", so he's not exactly chump change out there. This size is going to be a problem for the Altavista Colonels for sure.
Well, it is, and if you're Hoehne, you got to be licking your chops. You just sat here and watched the team pack it in and play zone. Again, nobody from the Colonels hit a 3 tonight. So, again, Hoehne fans were here, the coaching staff, the players, nobody left. They wanted to see what this machine that's back-to-back state champions is all about. And again, I think they're probably licking their chops.
Well, I think they're probably feeling better about seeing this game in person than when they read the reports about how Altavista just took apart Surrey in the regional championship game. And really, the Colonels' entire romp through the postseason has been unbelievable. Obviously, this has been their closest game, the 2-point win against Galax. But, hey, how important is it for a good team to win a close one? And the Colonels did. They showed, hey, they were on the ropes a lot tonight. They lost a lot of rounds on the scorecard, but they came back with a big punch when they needed it at the end.
And clearly got outplayed for three-quarters. No question about it. The game plan at Galax is utilized to get up this deep into the tournament. Worked, and it worked well, almost to perfection. If it weren't for the defense of the Colonels, we'd be packing up. The Colonels would be packing up, and they'd be done.
Well, and again, make no mistake about it. This would have been a great season regardless of what happened today. It would have been great careers for the seniors, but now they get a chance to really put the cherry on top of what, as far as I can remember, is one of the all-time great dynasties in basketball in Virginia. There's been 9 teams to three-peat in Virginia, Oscar. Brunswick did it in 2011 through 2013 most recently. Really only one 1A or Division I, small school, however you want to categorize them, team has done it. That was Bland back in the 60s and 70s that did a three-peat. Colonel's going to have a chance for that. That comes Wednesday. Let's bring it all back, wrap it up with some player of the game, some stats, and a little bit more. We'll try and recap this one again and maybe touch on Hoehne, the matchup on Wednesday. Colonels win 35-33 on the buzzer beater over Galax. You heard every second of the action live on 105.5 KD Country.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury, and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellers Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway post-game show continues here from the Siegel Center. Colonels get the 2-point win over Galax. Make sure you try that turkey Italiano melt from Subway. Turkey breast, oven roasted to perfection. Salami, pepperoni, the provolone cheese, and then you throw on top the tangy new Subway vinaigrette sauce that is very good. And you could throw that on not just the Italiano melt. I threw it on the grilled chicken that one time. It's pretty delicious and delightful, as always, Oscar.
And that's become my favorite.
I know.
Without a doubt.
I think you need to keep the ball rolling here. You didn't get a chance to do it before the game, so let's stop by Subway tomorrow. As we roll on here with the Subway post-game show, let me send a shout-out to all the other colored commentators we have had this year. Bob Alvis called it the Cavalcade of Stars. Let's start right there with Mr. Bob Alvis. I know he wanted to be here. This is kind of a home away from home for him as well. But all the other people that have helped me out this year, the names include, and this is a long list, so I got to make sure I don't miss anybody. It's Josh Brown, Andy McCracken, Ty Gafford, Ryan Cook, Dave Mabry, of course the lovely and talented Monica Robertson, who is leader in the clubhouse in a lot of categories over all you other color commentators, Oscar. And I'm just trying to think, make sure I'm not leaving anybody out that's helped me out on the autos this year.
I think that might have got it.
Well, if I left somebody out, I'll fill in the blanks later on. Apologies if you're listening.
We'll give them kudos on Wednesday.
Absolutely. We got a game Wednesday. That game is at 10 a.m. Early start time, but it's state championship basketball here at the Siegel Center, so you get some of that. And we were a little bit delayed today, but you're not going to have that problem Wednesday. That's the first game of the day. Subway pregame show will start around 9:30, so that'll be good. You can wrap up the Bug Moaners morning show with Dave Hoehne. Then we'll swing it on down to Kyle Hoehne, and you can't forget about sound engineer Eleanor back at home base, working hard, diligently, and always at the top of her game. She never has to hit any buzzer beaters. She's always 30 points in front. But speaking of which, this one, man, I'm telling you. You and I watch a lot of basketball, but it's rare to see a photo finish like that where two thoroughbreds are just duking it out down the stretch drive, and Altavista just sticks the nose out in front at the end.
Yeah, and again, we talk about it on paper. This wasn't a good matchup. Looks like the Colonels should be able to easily handle Galax, but it's why they don't play the game on paper, the old cliche. Boy, oh boy, what a game effort by this Galax team, who, again, outplayed the Colonels for 3 quarters. Were it not for that stifling defense and a very heroic shot by a player who had been cold all night long, again, we'd be packing up and going home.
Yeah, Colonels got seriously tested in this one by the Galax Maroon Tide. You got a feel for the Maroon Tide and their coach, Verl Brown, a bit. And that was, again, a historic matchup. That's a matchup of the two teams that have won the last 4 state championships at the 1A level. Altavista with their back-to-back. Galax had 2 back-to-back before that. I think it's time for some post-game statistics, Mr. Briggs.
Meche Malbeck for the Colonels with 4, Juan with 6, Donovan Montague with 2, Demetrius Johnson with 5, Darius with 18. Carried the Colonels offensively for a long part of this ball game. For Galax, Caleb Bartlett with 15, Cliff Conley with 14, and DeGiacomo with 4. Only had 3 players for Galax scored. And that's interesting.
Yeah, and it's the bulk of it there from Bartlett and Conley. And let's face it, they did the bulk of their damage from behind the 3-point ring.
And again, 3 points in the fourth quarter from that Colonels defense. That's all they allowed. So you win championships with defense.
Great point. They showed it there in that second half, a game, rather, that we're going to remember for a very, very long time. Going to be hard to forget it.
Hard. It is.
Is it like National Talk Like a Pirate Day or something? The Colonial Beach Drifters have a mascot out here. It's a pirate. You get to see a lot of fun stuff. And let me throw that out there. If you're thinking about coming Wednesday, but you're like, I don't know, I got to miss a day of work, got to get up early, you're going to see a great game with the Colonels and the Hoehne Tigers, obviously. But it's a full slate of action here from VCU. It's a fun atmosphere. If you're a basketball fan, really do yourself a favor and check it out. And if you can't make it Wednesday, make plans in the future, because it is it's a scene, and it's a good scene. The VHSL does it right. You know who else does it right, Mr. Briggs? Chris Owen, All-State agent in Lynchburg. It's time for the Chris Owen player of the game, but I wonder if it's going to be that difficult, because I think maybe your and I's thinking is going to be pretty close to alignment here.
You go first.
I do go first. You're exactly right. I'll go for the Galax Maroon Tide. He did not lead them. He had 14 points, but Cliff Conley, the Energizer Bunny, Mr. All-America, the state championship cross-country man, very good shooter. I got to take him as my player of the game. He's fun to watch. He's an outstanding player.
Boy,
Senior, his career's done one game early.
Really is. He'll play at some level. He's got that kind of game. I'm going with Bartlett. He was an unknown. We didn't talk a lot about him. We knew Conley, the deal, but Bartlett hurt the Colonels early and led them in scoring with 15. I generally don't go with the leading score, but tonight I am.
Yeah, Bartlett, 5 3-pointers. That's huge. That's huge. On the other side for the Colonels, well, hard to leave out Darius Johnson when he has 18 points. I mean, he had the bulk of the points for the Altavista Colonels. It's always hard to leave out one. Thornhill, all the seniors played fantastic. Nelson Dews and Josh McClure, the only guys in off the bench for Altavista. They did their share. But, and this is a big but, you just have to give the Chris Owen player of the game to number 1, pound for pound, Meche Malbeck. The buzzer beater at the end, the fantastic defense in the second half. He did it all there in the second half.
Yeah, and I concur. And I was, I thought about it, and I was, no matter how this thing ended, with the defensive job that he did on Conley for that quarter and a half, he just absolutely locked him down. Was in his shorts the entire quarter and a half. And then to top it off with that buzzer beater, hey, Meche Mahlback's the man tonight.
He is the man. Yeah, we talked about Demetrius Johnson and Juan Thornhill took their turn guarding Cliff Conley, and they didn't do a bad job at all. But Meche Mahlback gave them a little something extra there down at the finish for the Altavista Colonels. Again, it's the Hoehne Tigers on Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. for the 1A state championship. The Colonels trying to make some serious history. We had a historic game today already, but the Colonels going to try to go for the three-peat. Back-to-back state championships on Wednesday is what they'll be trying, and they got to go through a very tough Hoehne Tiger squad to do it. Tigers will come into the ball game at 26-1 on the season. And as we wrap up here, the team exiting out behind us. One last thought here about Hoehne, Mr. Briggs. What do you expect to see as we'll do a little makeshift preview? I know you think the Tigers are going to try and utilize that size and pack it in tight in the zone.
I think that's exactly what they'll do. Although they, from looking at their scores, they do like a little bit more up tempo. That'll be fine with the Colonels, but I think you'll see exactly that. I think you'll see them pack it in and make the Colonels prove that they can hit from the outside.
And a good point about their scores. I mean, this is a Hoehne team that, believe it or not, folks, has scored over 95 times. They scored over 100 twice. So this is a high-scoring team. You may be on to something there, Oscar. The scores might lead you to something different, but we'll see what kind of game plan Coach Marcus Dunham employs for the Hoehne Tigers as the Subway postgame show continues, and we will get to have a special guest. Oscar, don't worry, we're going to bring you back. But let's chat with Chad Ward, the assistant coach for the Altavista Colonels. As we tend to do, have an extended pregame show. We'll get you back to some real country music here in just a second. But Chad Ward's going to step to the microphone here in just a couple quick questions for Coach Ward. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations. Before we even get to the game, did your wife and kids make it to the game, or do we need to say hello?
We need to say hello to my wife and kids. My wife's actually had that stomach virus.
Ooh.
So she's been kind of quarantining herself in the bedroom, and me and the boys been hiding in the rest of the house. But she's feeling better, and hopefully she's going to be down here supporting us on Wednesday.
I hope so. It's going to be a fun atmosphere, 10 a.m. Wednesday. Coach Ward, let's start off first. What were the thoughts going through your mind there in the first half where Galax was really just looking very tough and, admittedly outplayed you guys there in the first half?
Oh, there's no doubt that they outplayed us in the first half. They were scrambling real hard for loose balls. That was, that's something we talked about. They're a team that shoots a lot of threes. There's going to be a lot of long rebounds. But they did a great job. They had a good game plan. Bartlett and Conley are such knockdown shooters. Between the two of them, they scored every point that Galax had except for 4 points that DiGiacomo had.
Yeah, that was impressive stuff from those two guys, and we'll get back to that in just a second. What's the atmosphere like in the locker room at halftime, and what was said by you, the coaching staff, at halftime?
We just wanted to tell the guys, look, we've been beating people bad in the first half, with the exception of Essex. And we just told them, you got to keep your composure. We shot really poorly in the first half. Meche couldn't get shots to fall. The Twins were getting beat on pretty good. We just told them, keep your composure, and that's what we've been talking about. We will survive, we'll adapt, and survive in advance, and that's what we did.
Man, you guys did that to a T tonight. Now take me into the thought process between you and Coach Carlero and the rest of the staff about you get the basketball back with about 90 seconds to play, and it's tied. When was the decision made, hey, we're going to hold for one last shot here, if possible anyway?
Well, I felt that, we thought that Galax, they didn't score for the last 7 minutes and 45 seconds.
Right.
And that was our defense, credit our defense for that. But they started holding the ball, and we felt like offensively they weren't going to be doing that much on their end. So, we had the momentum, we had the ball. Let's take our chances. Either we knock down a shot and we win the game, or we take it into overtime with the momentum on our side, which would favor us either way. And luckily, Meche hit an off-balance, contested, falling over at the elbow jump shot to get us the win.
Yeah, that was the thing maybe that Oscar and I didn't say enough of is that he was smothered by a couple Galax defenders, and he hit that shot. Let's move forward now. You got a day to implement your game plan against a good Hoehne team that you saw in person. What scares you about the Tigers? Obviously the size, I think, first and foremost, right?
Yes. They have 33 on the low block, who is the biggest kid we've faced, biggest good player. I mean, we saw the 7-footer against Essex, but he's one of the better sizable players we saw. And then 21 is a good 6'4" as well. Everything we've seen, they like to play high-low with 21 at the high block and 33 low, and they just play over top of people. But they haven't seen anybody with our size and athleticism, and we think we should really be able to disrupt that play over top of people because we got the kind of kids that can prevent that.
Sure. Tonight, man, congratulations. Hats off to you guys, the coaching staff, the team. That's the thing about great teams. They don't always have their A game, but they find a way to win, and you guys did that here today. And that's, to me, maybe as impressive as some of those blowout wins, honestly.
You know, on the way up here, on the bus, we watched a little bit of the previous year's state films, and we watched the 30 for 30 on Jimmy V about survive in advance.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the theme for today, was just survive in advance.
It worked out to perfection. Coach Ward, congratulations. I'm going to let you go get on that bus and be with the team, enjoy the win, and get ready for Wednesday. We'll try and talk to you again after that game, and we'll see if Oscar Briggs is still around or if he has left the premises. It's just kind of funny between me and Coach Ward there. I think Agent Zero has disappeared. That's what those guys do. They tend to just sneak away on you. So until he comes back, let me tell you, of course, this game would not be on the radio if it wasn't for the support of folks like First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. El Cazador, a great place for family and friends to dine. English's, your complete home center, and your Glidden Paint headquarters. David Shreve, attorney at law. When life happens, call David W. Shreve. Select Air, mechanical and electrical, your authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. Altavista Appliance. Come visit them on their new location. On 7th Street in Altavista. Fellers Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. Sonny Merriman, Virginia's premier bus company. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. And your live internet broadcast brought to you by Chris Owen, your All-State agent in Lynchburg. Basketball fans always in good hands with Chris Owen. This is the Subway Postgame Show, and that's going to wrap it up for the Subway Postgame Show. I'm Kyle Hoehne for Oscar Briggs. Mike Carlero joined us earlier. Chad Ward joined us just now, and big thanks to Coach Ward for that. For Eleanor Hoehne back at home base, Colonels get a fantastic, phenomenal, and history-making win, 35-33, to send them in to the state championship game. That's Wednesday morning. Subway pregame show starts around 9:30. Tip-off against Hoehne at 10. Make sure you join us on 105.5 KD Country.